Hello, chat. Is there anybody out there? Is anybody home? No, nobody. Welcome to another Wednesday evening D&D session with Evil and Friends. No, Drax is not here. Of course not. So last night I spent 5.5, 6 hours playing around with Incarnate and trying to recreate the Boulogne City map, and virtually completed it and deleted it about an hour after I finished stream. I wasn't happy with it, so I have started it again, and I will probably tomorrow night carry on with that on stream. So if want to come hang out, listen to the music and shoot the shit about D&D, tomorrow night come and hang out on stream. Obviously Friday night back over on Miss Yanti's channel for some Ice Spire Peak. Hey Dave Morton, what's up? And then again on Sunday, no stream on either channel. We're going to be in a Skype call finalising some Vampire the Masquerade stuff this weekend. And Vampire Masquerade will start on the 2nd of May, next weekend. So if you're into the vampires and the Vampire the Masquerade RPG, come and hang out with us on the 2nd. While we do play our homebrew Vampire the Masquerade campaign with Mr. Carnos Lurth, aka Urbasm, over there as our storyteller. So let's get some Musak going here.
Storyteller, otherwise known as Bringer of Pain.
Bringer of Death and Pain. So, Demortem, welcome everybody. We are going to get into our recap from last week. No work on Monday and you're not streaming on Sunday? No, I'm not streaming on Sunday. I might stream after, maybe. Might do something after, we'll see.
Well, damn.
That's right, it's a long weekend, isn't it? Anzac weekend. So...
Not that Victorians get the holiday off.
Last we left off, you had defeated the Druids of Yester Hill. Battered and bruised, you've all tended your wounds, although after being rendered unconscious once again, Zadriel seemed to have a fascination with blood. After some back and forth and aid from Carnos, eventually Emilia manages to restore Zadriel with a restoration spell. Carnos getting a punch in the face for his troubles. But the effect was dealt with nonetheless. Addok tries to take off with the seed, but is stopped and eventually decides to head back to the campsite of Divine Martikov with the group. Where, once you get there, the seed is reluctantly handed over. In return, Divine offers you a spell scroll, which turns out to be a Revivify spell. Emilia and Addok once again bicker and argue and at each other's throats. At which point Divine points out how fractured you seem in your group, and then a voice from next to the cart, one that's familiar to you, agrees with him, and Ismark joins you at the campsite, basically asking how you expect to defeat Strahd if you cannot get along. By this time, there was a lot of backwards and forwards, and in the end, Zadriel once again casts the Zone of Truth spell. With the Zone of Truth, which everyone failed except Zadriel, mind you. Zadriel passed her own roll and succeeded. It was discovered that Addok had met Strahd once before and was most likely being the source of Strahd's spying initially. Although Ismark did point out that by this stage in your time in Barovia that Strahd is quite capable of scrying on all of you, as he has met you all, and he uses the citizens of Barovia and the animals and a number of different means to get the information that he needs. He also warns not to speak of loved ones or anyone you wish to be hurt, as Strahd has capabilities of reaching beyond this realm. Eventually, Emilia and Addok come to some sort of a truce, if you could call it that. As the afternoon turns into darkness, you drink and joke. Karnos eventually is asked by Emilia if he could help her with her little blood issue, and Karnos, after making a deal with Emilia to make more of an effort in being civil to Addok and remaining loyal to the group, partially fills a water skin with his own blood. Also, Emilia confides in Karnos and tells him her story pretty much about how she came to be what she is, and also shows him a very nasty wound that by all accounts should have killed her but did not. As you rise the following morning, Addok sneaks up on Zadriel, almost getting a punch for it, and almost getting choked out as it turns out, but offers Zadriel a pair of new boots, which he says will aid her to be a little more stealthy. And with that, just thinking about it, because you have an advantage and a disadvantage on stealth because of your armor and the boots, from now on it'll be straight rolls for your stealth checks. So no disadvantage, no advantage, a straight roll. So we now rejoin you as you all wake, don your armor, have your breakfast, and prepare to set out for the ruins of Berez and the recovery of the final seed for the vineyard and divine Martikov. So we are now into another day, another beautiful, dreary day here in Barovia. This would be, let me just double check here. This would be day 28. So you've now been in Barovia about a month, 4 weeks. Again, a very overcast and very dreary day. In fact, it does start to rain lightly as you start to head out along the road. Need to set that one going. Right, so I'm going to bring up a map for you guys just quickly. This is your player map. So as you leave the campsite, which is about here near the winery where you stayed, you know you have to travel north back towards the old Slavich Road, back through the thick, dreary forest of Barovia. You know that it's going to take you approximately the best part of the entire day to make your trek from this point to the ruins of Berez, which follow the Luna River, or the lake. I mean, you've got a couple of options here. It's going to take you about the same length of time. So you can travel up back onto this old Slavich Road and then make a turn onto this long road here and then possibly trek across country. Could be a little more dangerous, who knows? Or you can follow the road back towards Valaki and then make the turn off onto the road which leads you directly to the ruins. So the choice is yours. Ismark is with you this day. He's joined you in your journeys. So we will start our journey turning the microphones over to our cast as you have just set out and you're in your first leg of your journey.
I have put on these beautiful green boots, which kind of don't match my armor, and I'm kind of like lightly slipping.
Fibble. Fibble?
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Just wait, listen.
You
Go ahead,
hear the rain, you hear the ravens in the trees, you hear the wolves in the distance, as you always do, as it seems to has become a regular thing here in Barovia. You hear the footsteps of your party. in the muddy road.
Hear what?
Exactly, that's exactly my point. You can't hear it. You can ya? Look at her. She's not making a single sound when she steps. It's brilliant. I did that.
Except for the fact that her shield clanks against her armor and, her...
Clank, clank,
Yes!
clank.
Doesn't make a single noise.
Well, I mean, just the footsteps. I was. I thought you'd be proud. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna shut up. Keep walking.
Yeah, the socks are very pretty.
All right. Just trying to do something nice.
It's very good. I'm happy that you tried to do something nice for someone else outside of yourself.
Yeah. Well, I felt like the whole, me learning that I was kind of betraying people might have not gone down so well last night. So I figured it's a way of making amends.
Well, technically, if you go with that, he's spying on us all, using us all. So, yeah, it's all neither here or there.
Are you guys just talking out loud, like so everyone can hear?
Yeah.
Walking and talking, walking and talking.
Yeah. As we're walking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Carlos hears this and he sort of stops back and he goes, "Hey, Addok," and he hands you 2 gold coins. He goes, "That's a really nice thing to say, and when you say nice things, there shall be treats," and you get 2 gold coins.
Is that so?
If
Right.
if he pulls out a spray bottle, watch out.
Carlos, you look absolutely stunning today, mate. You look absolutely fantastic. What have you done with your hair? Is it the weather? You washed it. What's going on? You look brilliant.
Oh, thank you very much, Addok. I don't want to seem rude, but it's a good start. But don't be patronising, right? Okay.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah. You gotta don't. You can't follow it moment after moment. You have to sort of pick your times. But good start. Keep those 2 gold, and we'll work on it.
All right, I will. Thank you very much. Does anyone know where we're going? Who's got a map? Who's leading this escapade?
I feel
We do
like
not
they-
need the map. I can take you directly to the reef if you wish. Just follow the road.
Zadriel, do you think that, and maybe Ismark could answer this too, maybe, but do you think maybe we should stop in at Valaki before we go? I know we all talked about this just previously, but I feel like maybe we should resupply and.
Well, the decision is yours. It will take us approximately a better part of the day to get to Valaki from here. As you know, you made that trek yourselves, and then which we will have to camp before getting to Paris anyway.
Yeah, I'm just worried, Zadriel, and you look at me and you, we're not so squishy compared to the others. Maybe Ismark not so squishy either, but we tend to, if we sleep or camp out in the open, we tend to get unwanted attention.
We should probably tell Erwin about our mission being complete at the winery too. He'll probably be happy to know.
Also true.
If you wish, we can travel back to Valaki and rest up the evening there and make a journey to Paris after sleep. Probably a good choice.
Skathis, do you agree, mate?
Aren't we going to the dam?
Yeah.
Scared is still half asleep.
We are
And
going
Lily-
to Valaki.
Suvlaki, okay.
Yes, hungry now.
Not Suvlaki.
It is going to take us the better part of the day. We'll probably not get there until right around dusk, but it'll be okay. I mean, this is if we do not strike any trouble along the way. which is entirely possible.
What's the worst that could happen? Jeez, like our luck's been
Would you-
awesome.
Would you like me to explain what the worst could be? It is very graphic.
I'm sorry, was someone small speaking? Because I did not hear them, because they tell everyone's business out loud. I've drowned them out now.
Is she talking about me?
I am not sure. I think so. May have upset her.
Yeah, she'll get over it.
With the conversation that I heard between Addok and Fibble, I approach Addok and ask, "Can you do something for me?"
Well, I mean, that really depends on what you want done. Yes? Question mark.
I want to be more durable.
As in, like, you want to... I mean, there's multiple ways we can do that. Do you want me to, like, make you harder to hit? I mean, do you want... Is your armor not working? Like, what's going on?
Harder to hit.
Right, because the way I do it is different to Fibbles. I use magic, and sometimes the magic works or doesn't work. It's a weird sort of thing. I can have a look at what you've got. Chances are, though, I'm going to have to forget something I'm doing. Look, you just tell me what you want. Harder to hit. I'll have a look. I'll think about it over the rest, and I'll get back to you. Do you have anything that you may or may not want anymore if I happen to break it?
I don't have much on me. Not much at all.
Have anything like, you know, the clothes off your back, so to speak. Maybe I could use that.
Okay, here you go.
No, I don't need it. No, I don't need it now. I'll do it when we rest. I'll think about it, and maybe Fibble and I can drum up some sort of thing together for you to make you easier to hit or something.
Yeah.
I'll sort it out.
Thank you.
Do I hear this?
Probably. I mean, you're all walking together, and it's not like they're hiding what they're doing.
Maybe if you want to be harder to hit, you don't go headlong into the door first. Just a thought. Just a tip. Just a tip.
What, Jazrael, you know what? You're being really moody today. Like, I don't know what. Usually, I'm the one that's having wisecracks on people, but no, I mean it in a nice way.
Yeah, not a good idea, Addok. Maybe you want to hand those 2 coins back.
What, did I say something wrong? I'm what?
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I'm learning from my mistakes, but you can hold those coins, but that just was not right. All right.
Was a little harsh.
I thought we're, like a party now. Emilia, you look great, by the way. We're doing good, yeah? Nice to see you out on the road and all.
Looking back at Emilia, you'll see that she's skipping and dancing in the rain and obviously enjoying herself. And she yells out, "Thank you, I appreciate it."
What?
Who? Did someone... What did you boys do to her?
And Carlos hands Addok 40 silver.
Thank you. I like this.
You are a little different today, Emilia. Seem happier.
Just enjoying the rain. She's jumping in the puddles. If there's any puddles.
Well, there'll be puddles. I mean, it's not a heavy rain, but it's a constant sort of light shower. But it's enough to... I mean, the ground's always wet here, so these... You know, the roads are muddy and full of potholes and puddles and stuff. Pretty much all the time. So is there anything else you wish to discuss as you walk and traverse your first hour on your journey towards returning to Valaki, as a decision has been made? And welcome, Raiders. Thank you for joining us.
Karnos would sidle over to Skathis and he'd say, Skathis, how's everything, mate? Are you doing good?
As well as can be expected.
Yeah, just back at the fight where the big wicker man was. That was impressive stuff you were doing back there, mate. I don't know much about you and worshipping types. Tell me a little bit about monks. Where did you train?
Monastery. Don't remember the name. Just
Okay.
know it got destroyed.
Oh, the monastery you were raised in got destroyed?
Yep.
So you were a child at a monastery and you grew up there?
Yes.
Okay. And so this is the only life you've known is being a monk?
Tried to be.
Trying to be. Okay. Well, you're doing a pretty good... monks do like lots of fighting, but they worship a god and they fight for that god. Is that right?
The monks did. I didn't.
So what do you fight for?
What I believe is wrong.
So you fight against what you believe is wrong. And that's admirable quality there, Skathis. You just let us know if you need anything. Sometimes I see you do get a bit beat up there, and I can quite happily step in the way if need be, all right?
Thank you.
And Karnos, seeing, not sure if he's interested in talking to him or not, sort of drops back to the middle, roughly, of the group.
He definitely seems very standoffish, not really willing to talk too much about himself. Pretty much the impression you've all got with Skathis in the month or so that you've all been stranded in this realm is that when he does have something to say, he'll speak, but it is few and far between. It did take him a long time to sort of warm up to you guys, but he always seems to be. He won't look you in the eye when he talks. He's always looking down or away, or like very not shy, but almost to the point where it seems like he's not worthy to talk to you. That's the impression you get. Like he feels like that he almost like he should be kneeling but talking to you. Like he feels inferior to you. You always get that sense that he's always feeling that way around other people. Lacking in confidence in a lot of ways. But very much a capable fighter. You've seen that time and time over. But yes, very not stupid, but reckless when it comes to battle. Always charging in first, almost like he's trying to prove something. So as you continue walking, the rain seems to ease somewhat. Not too much. It's still drizzling. You are not soaked through, but you are fairly damp. And you know that if the rain keeps up for the better part of the day, you will get very wet and it will get cold. And obviously the longer the day draws in, the colder it will get. Karnos, can I get you to roll a d20, please? The first part of your journey.
Wow, I went to grab a real dice and I don't have one. Because I'm using the fucking screen thing. That would be a 12.
A 12. You keep walking. After a short time, you hear, all of you probably hear this, it's relatively close. It's a strange noise, almost like clicking. Just off in the trees to your left. Stops for a moment and then again. Hear the rustling of branches and the rustling of the trees. It's an odd sound. Not something you've heard before. And obviously the distant sound of wolves can also be heard.
Karnos would sort of move closer to Zadriel and say, "Did you hear that clicking?"
Do I also hear the clicking?
I would say you all hear it. Even Ismark sort of stops and cocks his head to one side.
Like insect-like or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Karnos pulls his axe and shield. Maybe we should get battle ready.
You watch Ismark slowly draws his sword as well and sort of turns towards the trees. And sort of, you see him sort of peering towards the trees, and he sort of turns back toward you guys and says, "I believe we are not alone. Be prepared."
Zadriel, hey, Zadriel. And Addok's gonna like tug on your arm or tap on it, whatever.
What?
Look, you mind if I just hop on your back for a little bit? As you...
All right, come on.
Yeah, great. Skip her up. Yeah. Fibble, you should like jump on Ismark or Scafus or Karnos or something. Maybe not Scafus.
And as you guys are sort of discussing, Karnos, you turn towards the trees. Zadriel, anyone else who sort of thinks they might be turning towards the trees, as Mark has made a statement and turns on the trees, you see the first of something very large, hairy leg steps out of the brush. And a second, third, as it moves slowly out of the trees in your direction, see the fourth, sixth, eighth, and large furry body of a relatively and unusually large arachnid slowly steps out of the trees towards you. And you hear the same sound further to your left. And as you turn slightly, you see another, then another, then another from behind you as 4 or 5 large spiders slowly make their way out of the tree line. Not rushing you, but definitely interested in you right now. So we will roll initiative.
Just before we roll initiative, Sean, are we... Because we're in the middle of the road, right?
You are on... It's not really a road. You're still on the sort of dirt track leading towards the road.
Is there any rocks or anything around?
It's all basically trees. It's just forest and...
Just trees?
There's small rocks, nothing large.
So Karnos would just sort of shout as we were into initiative. Just a quick idea. Blockers sort of around the outside, covering the slightly more casties is a good idea. And that's what he'll say.
And also, did anyone bring the Peebo?
What?
Peebo? What's Peebo?
I don't know what that is.
It's an insect killer.
Oh, right. Right, so I'm going to roll initiative for them spitterers. Karnos, your initiative, please.
23.
Nice roll. Addok.
I completely forgot to roll initiative, but I got a 16. Just did it
16.
now.
Skatus.
7.
Zadriel.
7.
Ooh, who's got the higher dex?
Probably skaters.
Actually, we'll just run you guys simultaneously, making it nice and easy. Fiddlestep.
20.
Emilia.
3.
3. And I forgot to roll for Ismark, so I better bring that up. Now that I've actually created his character sheet. And Ismark got a 10. So with that, Karnos, you get the initiative as the from where you're currently standing in on this small dirt track, not quite as wide as a road, maybe about 6 or 7 feet wide at its widest point, to your northwestest towards the front and to your right, about 15 feet from your position, the first of these large spiders has emerged. to your left, about 25 feet, you see a second and a third slowly making their way out of the forest. And as you sort of turn and glance behind you, when you hear the rustling behind you, about 40 feet from behind you in a sort of more or less due south position, you see another large creature. And they're not rushing towards you, but they are definitely coming towards you guys, and they do not look pleasant. Lots of goo and so hanging from very large mandibles and fangs, and that sound just gets louder as they get closer and closer, and they just keep slowly advancing.
So 3 on one side and 1 on the other, basically.
Yes,
flanks.
pretty much. Yep.
Okay, so I say to the team, okay, so that circle position I was talking about is a good idea, but we need to pull back down the road the way we're heading and try and lead them to us. And then I step slightly closer towards the 3,
Yep.
and I bang my axe on my shield. How far away are they from me?
You got the one that was closest about 15 feet. The 2 others were about 25 feet. So they definitely hear you.
Okay, I'm not going to engage. I want the crew to start moving back first. So
So
I'm
you're
going
gonna
to step
Are you going to
forward.
say anything as well while you're doing it? Or are you just going to bang your shield?
Just come get me or something like that. It's hard because I've just sent a whole bunch to the team. So I'm just clanging my shield as I'm saying
Okay.
this to the team. Hoping
So make an intimidation roll for me, please.
Intimidation. That is 19.
19. I'm just going to make a random roll here.
Come to Papa.
So 2 of them seem to be interested in you. They seem to turn and start moving slowly towards your direction. The other just is methodic and still moving towards the bulk of the group, the larger group. You get the impression that they're definitely looking for food. It's not like they're intentionally seeking you out at this stage. So, I mean, they just look like they're wild animals looking for a meal. The one behind you, you probably haven't sort of looked at to see where it's at, but you're not sure that it would have made any sort of judgment. Is that all you're going to do? You're not going to make any kind of movement towards them and attack?
I've moved 10 foot closer to them when I was
Okay.
bashing my shield, but I'm going to let them come to me. I'm trying
Okay.
to let my crew, or our crew, sort of steer away. So yeah, that's it for me.
So with that, it is now the spider's turn. They rolled really high. So they all just, again, they're not moving very quickly. They're just slowly moving in, sort of encircling the group a little bit. The one that you first saw is now circled onto the road, blocking the road back the way you came. So the direction you're traveling in is fine. One sort of circled around towards the rear of you. The other 2 that are moving into you, Karnos, and they will reach you. It's slowly, but they have enough movement speed to reach you into melee combat range. The one at the rear and across the road is moving, and now probably within 15 feet of you guys. It didn't quite have enough to get to you at this point. So with that, Karnos, you will take 2 attacks from these 2 that have moved into your combat zone. Let's see what we're going to do here. Range on that. So this one, first one's going to attack you with a 13, which I believe will miss.
It's a miss.
Second one will attack you. This one will hit with a dirty 20.
Yep.
You take 7 points of piercing damage, and you'll need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Damage Constitution.
Constipation.
That is a 14 on the save.
That will be a save. You, the first spotter sort of rears up and it goes to bite you with these large fangs and manages to just catch your shield. You manage to fend it off. But in doing so, you expose yourself to the second, who comes in and catches you on the arm, in between the chinks of your armor. You feel the blow.
Sorry, as a reaction for the one that missed,
Yep.
I'm going to use my
Repost.
riposte,
Yep, no
which
worries.
gives me a single attack.
Go for it.
If that's all good. And I'm going to Oh crap! Take a spin, but it's not so good. 13 to hit.
That will miss.
For
Just a
mine.
little quick for you. It just manages to step out of the way.
That's my reaction.
So you smell it and you see it as it goes to bite. You see the ooze coming from the fangs. You know these things are poisonous. You can see it quite clearly. You can smell it. It doesn't quite seem to affect you as you thought it might. You managed to stave off this effect, whatever it was. With that, it is now the two others. The one that was in front moving onto the road moves forward and probably moves into Ismark, who would have been roughly leading the group. And the one in behind is going to sort of hang back a little bit. So Ismark is going to take an attack as well with a 23 to hit, which does hit Ismark. So he will take 7 points of piercing damage and will also need to make a con save, which fails with a natural 1. So Ismark, you hear him sort of grunt as he gets hit by this thing, and he is now paralyzed. He freezes on the spot and is unable to move. So that one turn. The one at the back is going to make a ranged attack at you, Zadriel, with Addok sitting on your backpack. So this will actually probably affect you both. The attack is a 16 to hit.
And that misses?
Misses you, but I dare say it would hit Addok.
I'm going to use shield as a reaction.
Okay. What does that make your AC?
20.
So that will miss as well. You do get hit by what looks like webbing. Really thick, stinky webbing. But you manage to sort of see it coming, and it only just sort of catches your shoulder, and it does stick to your armor, but it doesn't really hold you in place. The rest of it falls sort of harmlessly to the ground. But it's quite heavy, which is unusual. And that is the spider's turn. Fibble, you're up. Addok, you're on board after that.
I'm going to launch a firebolt at the one that attacked Zadriel and Addok.
Yep.
For 18
It
to
hits.
hit. And it takes 10 fire damage.
It was a firebolt?
Yeah.
You reach out, cast your fireball, strikes the creature in the abdomen. You can hear the smell and sound of the smell of burning hair and the sound of sizzling hair and flesh. And creature sort of takes a couple of steps back and then hisses as it sort of comes forward again. But it took a significant amount of damage. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Yes. Addok the Grey, you're up, and Ismark would be on deck next, but he is paralyzed, so it'll be Skathis.
Great. Addok is gonna slam some black powder into his little blowgun, and it's gonna glow red hot. It's gonna cast Scorching Ray at a 3rd level.
Okie dokie. At which the one that attacked you?
Well, I've got 4 rays to choose from. So
What's the range?
it is 120 feet.
Okay, you'd be able to hit all 4 if you wish.
Yeah, which I'm going to. So I gotta make a ranged spell attack for each of them.
Yep.
So the first one is 17.
It hits. 14 to beat, man.
Okay. So the first one is 5 damage.
5 damage. We'll do that on the one that attacked you.
The one that hits Karnos, because I'm using my Artificer's spell firearm focus, I'm going to add an extra 1d8 to one spell if it hits.
No problem.
Which it does with the 22.
It does. Add your damage.
3. Total of 7 to the
Total
one that hit Karnos.
7. The 3rd attack.
13, so I believe that misses.
That'll miss.
God damn.
Fourth attack. You got 4 here, so you're 4.
Yeah, not
19. That hits.
For 7 damage.
The 7 damage. So Zadriel, from your backpack, in 4 directions, you see just these rays of energy, glowing hot energy, shooting out from behind you, striking all 4 targets. Missing 1, in fact. Sorry, striking the road next to it. Spectacular display of energy coming from young Addok. Is that your turn?
Before my turn, Addok's just gonna yell out to Fibble, and he's gonna go, Fibble, do you have any spare metal? I need that cannon that blew up.
So that is Addok's turn. Ismark actually gets to make a save. See if he's gonna save against this. No, he does not. Rolls a 2. Addok is still paralyzed. No, Ismark is still paralyzed. Skatus, you're up with Zadriel on board after that.
I'll go to the one near Ismark, seeing he's
Okay.
paralyzed.
You surge forward, coming in beside your new ally, Ismark, and make your attacks.
16 to hit,
It hits.
4 damage.
4 points of bludgeoning damage with your first punch, straight punch into its abdomen. Second attack.
22 to hit,
It hits.
5 damage.
5 damage as you give it a good swift kick for good measure.
Using my key point when I get back to it eventually. To use Flurry of Blows.
Flurry of blows. Another 2 attacks.
12 misses.
That will miss. Misjudging the speed of these
9
creatures,
miss.
you steady yourself ready for your next 2 attacks. You go to almost like a kickboxing kick to the leg of one of these creatures, and it just steps over. Frustrated, you lash out with a straight punch, and it just steps backwards out of your range. So that is your turn. Zadriel, you're up. Emilia, you're on board after that.
Right. Heads up, y'all. If you're in 10 feet of me, you get a
Plus
bonus
5.
saving throws, yeah, and resistance to spells. So, all right. So I'm gonna go by. Who is near Zadriel?
You got Addok in your backpack. You would have probably Fibble and Emilia within 10 feet of you at this point.
Right, and the spiders are near Carnos.
You've got one that's about
Ismark.
15 feet behind you, one in melee with Ismark and Skathis, and 2 within melee range of Carnos.
Okay, I'm gonna go to where Ismark is and stand by him
Okay.
and cast. I'm gonna hit the spider twice first. 16.
It hits.
Oops, that was accidental because that was a roll to hit. 12 damage. And then I don't think this one's gonna hit. Oh, 16
It hits.
and 12 damage.
That
And
was
then
on the one.
The
Near
one that hit
Ismark?
Ismark.
So that one is. Where is it? That one there. And what was your total damage?
24.
That is enough to decimate this large arachnid as you strike down with your warhammer. First blow snaps its front leg. As you come back through and then backhand back up into the abdomen, you hear it just sort of squelch as it shatters the abdomen and embeds itself. As you retrieve it, warhammer's covered in green ichor and slimy goo, as the spider sort of makes a burbling, hissing noise that steps back and then slumps, unmoving.
Nice. As my bonus action, I'd like to cast Compelled Duel on the one attacking Skathis, which makes it compels a creature into a duel. It must make a Wisdom save.
So you were attacking one next to Karnos, yeah?
The one
Or-
next to the space.
Ismark?
This one was next to
Yeah,
Ismark.
so that one's
okay,
dead,
I'll do the whichever one singled out remaining.
So what's the range on that?
30 feet.
30 feet. So the one that attacked you is probably the only one left in range. You probably moved too far out of range for the ones with Karnos because he moved forward to them.
Okay. Can I take any remaining movement to get closer, or no?
You would move. Oh, yeah, you would only move about 10 or 15, probably about 15 or so feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, you still got 15 feet. So if you wanted to move closer to those ones and choose one of those, you could. Would put them
yeah,
within
I'd
range.
like to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so they need to make a wisdom save, you said?
Yeah.
Their
one of
wisdom
them.
is +0, so that would be a failure with a 10.
Okay. They're
one-
compelled to duel with me. They'll get a disadvantage on
Attacks made
attack
not
rolls
against
until
you.
Yeah, not against me.
Sweet. So that is your turn. Emilia, you're up. Anos, you're on board.
Emilia will move to Ismark.
Yep.
Kneel down beside him. She's going to run her hand down the side of his face to his heart, and then, down his chest to his heart, and then cast protection from poison.
Nice. So with that, does that cure a poison or just protect them from any further poison?
If the target's poisoned, then you neutralize the poison.
Okay. So with that, he's still standing, by the way. He wasn't lying down. He wasn't prone.
sweet.
It was just frozen in place. But with that, you reach out and you touch him. You release the spell, and you watch as his eyes flutter, and he sort of blinks, and then sort of almost slumps forward and regains himself. So, thank you very much. And he spins, ready to sort of see where the rest of these creatures are.
Has a 1 hour duration.
Yep.
For the duration, the target has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned
Sweet.
and resistant to poison damage.
Awesome. Make note of that. Anything else you would like to do?
And then Emily will stay next to him and end her turn.
Okie dokie. So with that, Karnos, you're up.
Alrighty. So what Zadriel's done is made the spiders in front of me interested in her.
One of them. The other's
One
still
of them.
very interested in you.
So the one that's turned away, I look over to Zadriel and I say, "Thank you, I shall be behind it momentarily." And I just plow into the one that's still interested in me with my 2 strikes. I'm
Go
aiming
for
the
it.
Four quarters, the 4 main legs.
Yep.
First one's a miss with a
That'll
12.
miss. You catch it on its foreleg, and it just sort of it parries it with its leg. They're
I made up.
quite tough.
I made up for it as I spun around and hooked right into the center of its head with a natural 20.
Natural 20,
Was
guys.
29 to hit.
Karnos.
And of course it's doing its automatic natural 20 thing, so I'm just going to skip this first roll.
Yep.
And it will be, I'm using it one-handed, so it will be 8 plus... Yeah, it's 11. 11
is-
damage.
That is enough to end this one. This one had taken a bit of damage from Fibblestib and... no, not Fibblestib, from Mr. Addok. And it was looking pretty damaged already. As you strike down with your axe into its cranium, almost splitting it completely in two. And
And I-
releasing all manner of goop and smelly stuff all over your axe and on the ground as it slumps forward.
And I turned... so the other one's looking like it's going to head to Zadriel, but I'm going to step in front of it, like, obviously not stepping out of
Yep.
its range of focus, but step right in front of its way, put my shield in its face, and bonus action, shield slam.
Okay, roll to hit.
Strength v strength.
Strength check.
It's. I'm trying to knock it over prone, so I guess I'm sort of pushing up
8.
under the front of it.
It's probably too big to not prone. It's pretty big.
Okay, so I just want to. I'll push it back 5 or 10 feet, then however far you think I can.
So you definitely it's weakened because it has been damaged. So you've slammed into it and shoved it back, and it steps back and probably gets shoved back about 10 feet.
Yeah, so I hit it with a 17 as far as
With the amount of legs it's got, I would say that you probably would not be able to knock it prone.
No, that's fair. I figured as much because it's
Unless you would had more than one person to get up underneath and try and tip it over.
good as gold. That's it for me.
But it does get shoved back approximately 10 feet from you. It is now its turn, and it is compelled to attack Zadriel and moves in past you, Karnos. You will get an attack of opportunity as it basically pushes past you to try and attack Zadriel.
That's what I was hoping it would do. I do like a reverse slash where I spin around and try to take its legs off. Oh, so low. 13.
That will miss. It just moved just out of your range as you swung down, and your axe goes squelch into the mud.
And I called to Zadriel, incoming.
So with that, Zadriel, it is going to attack you with a 17 to hit.
That misses.
That misses. So it managed to raise your shield and deflect the attack. Is now the other one's turn, the one that has not been hit yet, who's going to make a ranged attack at who's in the center there? Be Fibble on his own. The Fibble step with a 15 to hit.
That would be a 15 to miss.
So you see this glob of webbing come flying at you, and you manage to step out of the way before it covers you. It's gonna roll quickly. Gonna move into melee range between you and Emilia and his mark. It is not going to do anything else because it can't. It is now your turn, Philstep. You have a giant spider standing over top of you, basically.
Cool. Firebolt the bastard.
Is that a ranged spell?
Doesn't make a difference because I'm a warcaster.
Oh, you got Warcaster. Awesome.
Yep.
Well done. Nice feat to take as a caster.
Yes, I thought it was a very handy feat to
Definitely.
take. 16 to hit.
That hits. You fire your firebolt from underneath it straight up, striking it in its undercarriage.
18 damage.
Whew. Makes a very horrible sort of squealing sound as it almost catches fire as well. It is not looking healthy, but it's still standing above you. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that will be my turn.
Addok the Grey, it is now your turn. From your position in Zadriel's backpack, you can see that Zadriel has got one more or less standing right in front of her. And you can turn behind you, can see the one standing pretty much over top of Fibblestib, with Emilia and Ismark probably just out of view on the other side.
Yeah, Addok's gonna whip around and shoot a firebolt at the one that's standing over the top of Fibblestib.
Fire away.
Great. With the 2, that makes 9.
That'd be a miss. So we just misjudged the distance and the angle, and it just shoots over the rear end of this creature and lands harmlessly in the dirt road. Anything else?
No, Addok's just gonna be freaking out for a bit, that's all.
So with that, it is now Ismark's turn. He turns, brings himself up to full height, steps forward and makes his attack with his long sword. Rolls a 13, which will miss, but he gets 2 as second attack. There's a 4. My god, he's rolling like shit. So he misses on both his attacks. Does he have a bonus action? I don't believe he does. Oh, he does. He's gonna just say fuck it, and he's gonna action surge and try again. That's better. Dirty 20 and a 24. So both of those hit. Singing both one-handed. The 7 and an 8. He hacks through front leg, severing the front leg, takes half a step back and just comes straight down on the top of the head of the spider, just behind where the head and body join, and completely severs the head from its body. Then stands there ready for another attack as the spider is no longer moving, leaving 1 left. That is his turn. He sort of looks at you, Emilia, gives you a nod as a thank you to what you did, and Skathis, it is now your turn.
So 1 left.
There is one left, which is in melee with Zadriel, which is about 25 feet from your current position. So you have more than enough movement to engage, or you can stand back and wait. It's up to you.
Didn't. I mean.
This mark killed the one that was near you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go and attack that one.
So I'll give you advantage on this attack because you have Karnos and Zadriel in relative positions that I would say that you would be flanking. So you have advantage on this attack.
Well, hang on. Alright, so I'm going to go up and use Fist of Unbroken Air.
Sure you want to waste it? Long day.
Yeah, alright, we'll revise the situation.
Put it this way, as you approach the spider, it's not looking very good. It's looking pretty beat up.
On that 2026.
And with that, even without, you don't even really need to roll it. With a nat 20, you will kill it. So how do you destroy this giant spider?
So from where I started from, ran up, jumped, and just pounded it down, its head down to the ground with my foot. Yeah, exactly what he said.
So you literally squished this bug with your foot. Now, you jump up, you come down on its head in stomping motion. Your foot squelches into its cranium, and you just, as you hit the ground with the other foot, you bring your other foot back out again and just stomp, and then continue to stomp until there is not much left of this giant spider's head. It's very gooey, very smelly, but you are no longer in combat as your foes have been vanquished.
Wow, Skathos, that was very good.
Yeah, excellent work. Sorry about that, guys. Look, this new axe is a little bit different. I'm just getting used to it.
Maybe it is unbalanced.
Well, that was interesting. Not seen spiders of this size before. First time for everything, I guess.
This is why you kill them while they're small.
Ismar, I noticed that you managed to be a bit stuck a little bit before.
Yes, a creature did bite me, and I guess it was poisonous.
Great, that's fantastic. Has anyone got any spare flasks?
Why?
Flasks of what?
Flasks to just put venom glands in it.
I hand Addok. Oh, I tell Addok, look down in my pack there. I have those wine bottles still from.
Yes,
the
you do.
winery.
Yeah,
Yes, there'd be like 2 of them.
you do
Addok
indeed.
would-
The 2 empty wine bottles.
Yeah. If I could, DM, I'd like to scramble off Zadriel, walk up to any relevant spider that's not completely smushed to smithereens.
Yeah, so you got
Go
one
for the
that's
venom
been
glands.
set on fire, is pretty much cooked. So the venom glands and that would probably be no good. The one that Skathos killed, probably not so much either. I mean, he definitely squished it pretty bad. So you got 2 there that would possibly have viable venom sacs. Are you proficient in nature, any chance?
I am half proficient because of Jack of all trades.
So roll a nature check to see whether or not you are able to harvest the glands from one of these spiders.
Before I do, Addok's just gonna mutter a little chant and cast guidance on himself as well. He's gonna touch himself.
I touch myself. The 6. Add your guidance. So the first spider, unfortunately, as you have you got a dagger? You got a dagger, haven't you?
Oh, in one of my tool sets, I've got a knife.
Okay, so that'll do. So you start hacking away at you look at it and go, Yeah, that's about where it is. And you just watch as Addok just starts like stabbing into it, hacking away. It's pretty brutal to watch. Like he really doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. And as it turns out, Addok, as you're sort of cutting away the first section of the spider and you get in there and you start hacking through, you go, oh, that's about it. And you go, ugh. And all of a sudden you just get, and you get covered in sticky, smelly, green venom from the spider. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. As you've probably got some of it in your mouth.
That one.
A natural one. So Addok, as you sort of reel back, sort of going, it's in your eyes, it's in your mouth, and you rest your watch as Addok takes 1, 2, 3 steps back and then stops. Addok, you are now paralyzed.
You are not getting back on me like... Oh shit. Oh wait. I go up to him and cast Lesser Restoration.
Does that remove poison effects?
It removes paralyze. Yes, it does remove poison.
Yep.
Look real quick.
Pretty sure it does.
Yeah.
So Addok, you get frozen there for a moment, and Zadriel just puts her hand on your shoulder, and you are able to move again. A little stiff, but otherwise you're sort of like, whoa.
But I've still got venom on me, right?
You have still got venom all over your face and down your front.
With the knife, I'm gonna start to try and safely like carve it off into the hospital.
Roll a
This
dexterity
explains.
check, please.
This explains why he looks the way he looks.
You are next to Zadriel, so you will get a +5 to this dexterity check.
Okay, so I got
You got an 18 anyway. So
3.
So you are definitely better at scraping goop off your face than you are extracting goop from a spider. His eyebrows are pretty safe with that kind of roll. But you do manage to get, I would say, depending on what you want to do with it, you get a small amount of spider venom.
Great, yeah. Just gonna try and work out how to turn it into usable poison or paralyzing
You probably
poison.
could use it. I mean, looking at it and the fact that it paralyzed you as quickly as what it did, you could definitely dip a knife or an arrow into it, and it would have a similar effect. Be a DC 11 con save.
Great. How many charges do you reckon I've got? Just a couple or
Probably 2. Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
2?
Yeah.
That's
So I would say enough for 2 applications.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, just DC 11 con save to save against it, and if they fail, it's they're paralyzed for an hour.
Great. Fantastic. Yeah. And I was just gonna turn around and go, that stuff is so potent. Don't use that gel, by the way. Does anyone want some? Like, it's great. There's another spider. You should maybe not do what I did. Anyone who's good at understands animals probably should get some venom for me. I probably should have asked before I did that.
Addok, do you eat these kind of things?
Actually, the legs are very good if you fry it in some oil.
So Carnos goes over with one of his knives and tries to take off just, sections of the legs that are placeable in the backpack.
So you wouldn't want to take too much. They're quite big. I mean, we're talking like giant spiders, so they're standing as tall as you are at their highest point, sort of thing. So these legs are, you're talking probably a couple inches round at their fattest points. They're pretty big.
Yeah, so I'll take a couple of like
It's the
300
smaller
mil
sections.
sort of- yeah, 300.
So-
I'll hack it with the axe.
Just make a strength check for me. It's a basic strength check. I'd say with a +5 because Adriel's sort of there.
14 with a +5.
But yeah, it doesn't take too much. I mean, they're dead. I mean, it's not like they're going to be hard enough to hack up. You get a couple, say 2 or 3 sections of spider leg, giant spider leg.
Two's fine. If it's that big, it'll be good for a meal.
Yeah. I mean, two decent sized sections will probably do the most of you for a meal if cooked right.
Thank you.
As Carlos is doing that, Addok's just going to say, yeah, so what I usually do is I just get a bit of flour, maybe some butter, and some breadcrumbs. I fry it with chili, lime, and coriander, and it's pretty good. Some oil. But then again, Carlos, you know what you're doing with food. That's just how I do it. So
Hey, I'll give anything a go once. I've got my cookbook. I've got your additional recipe. We shall try that when we get back to a place that is safe to eat.
Yes, we should probably keep moving. The day is not getting any longer. This has delayed us a little while. We should probably keep moving.
Emilia is going to say to Addok, if you would like me to try and get some more venom out of one of these other spiders, I could give it a shot. As a druid, I know animals, so I could try.
That is very nice of you to offer, Miss
To milk
Emily.
a spider.
So I'm going to try and milk one of the other spiders.
Okay, so roll a nature check.
16 minus 2, is it?
minus 2 next day.
Station. So 14.
14? You definitely did better than than Addok did. You got a rough idea of the anatomy as you're able to shapeshift into these creatures. So you've got a rough idea where it is. You managed to extract one large venom sac. It would hold probably enough venom to fill one of those wine bottles. How you get it into here is completely up to you.
It's going to say, I've got it here. If you want to hold up the wine bottle, I'll just give it a light pinch with my dagger, and we'll see if we can milk it in there like a cow. Like cow bladder.
You know that's probably going to be a little bit more fragile than that, but give it a go. So I need you both to make dex checks for me, please. D20 plus your dex. One for holding the bottle, one for milking the venom sac.
Addok got a dirty 20.
I got a 2.
Got a 2, oh no. Even with a +5, that would be really bad. So, Addok, you hold the bottle super still. Both hands, you're waiting. Emilia, you grab the dagger and you go to just put a small hole in the bottom of it. You misjudge how fragile and how sharp your dagger is, and you open up a rather large gap in the bottom of this venom sac, and it just goes all over the bottom and all over Addok's hands. Luckily for Addok, it didn't get into any major orifice. Nothing in your eyes or anything this time, so you managed to get to be okay. But I would say you probably, again, maybe got enough for 1 or 2 applications in the bottle. Maybe. I'd say 2 at most.
Well, good with animal parts, not so good with my dagger, apparently.
So we'll say you got enough for 4 applications of this particular poison.
Addok is then just going to clean himself off and put the bottle down and just go, in kind gesture of what Karnos is doing, he's going to reach in his bag and give you 2 gold. There you go.
Can I use shaped water to shape the stuff into the
I would say no.
Okay,
Nice try, but I would say no.
Emilia, can you clean up Addok? He's not getting back up on me like that. It's
It is still raining, so it wouldn't take long before he's washed off. But yeah, he'd be pretty dirty.
Emily will open her water flask, use shaped water to basically wash it off him.
Yep.
And then return the water back into the flask again.
No worries.
Wow, that is, another 2 gold for you. And he hands over another 2. I like this sort of barter system thing. It's just, nice rewards. You be nice to me, you get money. I'll be nice to you, I get money. It's a win-win. I like it.
Emily will smile and say, I agree.
All right, we should keep going, yes? Walking and talking.
Yes. Yes, we should. And as I walk past Addok, I slip him 2 gold.
So you collect yourselves, and continue on your journey. Over the course of the next hour or so, nothing much really happens. The rain finally stops, although it's still very overcast and very foggy, as it always is. Ismark sort of slows down a little bit and sides up to you, Karnos, and says to you, "You seem to be a capable fighter. You did very well."
Thank you. I have a little bit of practice. Yeah, not too bad. Appreciate the gesture. Thank you.
It has been some time since I have engaged in any form of combat, so I'm a little rusty. I'm sure it'll come back to me soon.
That's fair. Look, I got this new axe that Fibble found me the other day or yesterday, and you know, I was a little rough myself. Can't be perfect every time, but just you know, just gotta be careful of them spiders, mate.
Agreed. This is my father's sword. It's an honor to swing it in battle, albeit with a giant spider. I have sworn on my father's name that I will drive this sword through Strahd's heart.
Well, that's admirable. Yeah.
Probably a little bold and maybe a little. How you say? Not sure of the term. Little out of my league at the moment. It is a goal that I have set for myself.
Look, I'll tell you one thing, mate. In my life, I've learned a lot. I might not be the brightest spark in the kitchen noodle, but really, you know, you got to admire Strahd. Okay, he's a badass. He's not a hero, and I don't like him, and I definitely don't think a lot of him. But I definitely respect him, and I admire what he is capable of. So when you talk about putting that sword through his heart, you know, that's admirable too. But you cannot misjudge his character. He'll be a tough cookie to beat, I would say.
I do not doubt it. He has been alive for many, many lifetimes. Longer than anyone that I have known. He once was a great man. But all the years he has been alive has twisted his heart. Now black as the night.
Yeah.
He fears very little. Cares for no one.
Yeah, I mean, having a twisted heart is no good for anyone, eh? You got to keep on that straight and narrow. Keep firmly believing in what you believe, and push it to the end limit till the final days. That's what I say.
My only goal is to ensure the freedom of my sister. If it means my life, then so be it.
Now, there's the attitude I like. Looking out for someone else and not yourself. Very admirable, once again.
And of course, to help you and your friends get back to where you are from, to your homes, to your families.
Yeah. One day I'm going to be able to get back to my home and I don't really have a family, but nonetheless, they're somewhere around. I actually barely remember them, to be honest.
Do not remember your family?
Well, I got into this adventuring business and I have been from butthole to breakfast, I tell you what.
You speak very colorfully. This is refreshing in a place like this.
Yeah. I guess you could say that.
Most people here are quite dull, boring. Not as colorful as you and your friends.
No, I actually am starting to warm to these people quite a lot. They are colourful, as you say, but all of them have their own unique intricacies that kind of are rubbing off on me a bit.
I have no doubt in my mind that in due time you will be more than powerful enough to defeat Lord Strahd and remove this curse from his land. Free us all.
Yeah, we might even be able to convince him to change his mind and actually become a good guy, right?
I do not believe this to be so, but anything is possible, as you say.
Carlos just nods and sort of leaves it at that.
And he nods and agrees and sort of moves towards the front again, leading the way.
Since
Emilia,
the
yes,
rain stopped,
has stopped, yes.
Emilia will use shape water, and basically a 5 foot by 5 foot square in front of the party will sort of appear, and as they walk through it, the water on them will drip off their bodies onto the ground, leaving them dry.
Nicely done.
So the whole party would just sort of walk through, and I don't know if they notice or not, doesn't really matter.
I'm pretty sure they would, because by this stage, I mean, you've been walking for a couple of hours in steady rain. So, yeah, everyone would be well wet.
Yeah, from
So
this
they
cover.
definitely would have noticed the drying. This mark probably would have turned, sort of looked and turned, sort of touched them, so I'm dry. Looks around and probably would have noticed that you were casting something, and just gives you a nod.
And Lee will be sort of holding her hand up like that, and as casting the spell, and when he looks around, she'll smile at him, not say anything.
Right, so you proceed for the next hour or so. By this stage, you have made it. Where are we on our map here? Let's see how far you've gotten. The wolves ever present as usual. So by this stage, you would have traversed this road here, this dirt track, and eventually, by now, you would have made it to back to the main Slavich road, back onto just roughly where this bridge is. So you've still got a fair travel to go. But the road now widens out into a more well-traveled road, a little bit more compact, so less muddy. As I say, the sounds of the ravens and the wolves and the trees are ever present. You travel for probably another hour. Emilia, can I get you to roll a d20, please?
12. Jimmy, you want -2 or just 12?
Just a d20. So with a 12, you continue walking, and all seems well. Nothing out of the ordinary catches anyone's eye, or nothing really happens. Seems to be a relatively quiet section of the Slavich Road. No travellers, which is not unusual. You've come to know that travelling the Valakian, the Barovian roads is generally relatively quiet. Don't really come across many wagons taking supplies many places. On occasion, if the winery was still running, you probably would have had a wine delivery to Valaki using this road, but as the winery is no longer operating at the moment, have not seen this. Next hour or two goes by without incident. You continue your journey. Is there anything else that anyone wishes to discuss as you continue your journey towards Valaki?
As Addok is on Zadriel's back, she's gonna once again call a Fibble. She's going, Fibble, come here.
What?
You got any spare metal? I'm thinking, as I'm sitting up here, if I build my cannon and attach it to Zadriel's armor, it's like a giant shooting thing. I could just man it like that. All I need is some spare metal, and I'll weld it right here in her armor. I'll make it detachable though, so it can come off and come on.
I left all my armor in the room.
Wait, what? You don't have any metal at all?
No, not on me. I left it all at the room. There's
Oh,
a lot
that's
of
right.
metal. It's starting to get heavy.
No, that's all right. That's
You would definitely hear this conversation too, by the way, Zadriel.
Zadriel, would you mind if I made some slight altercations to your armor for the better? Might I add you?
Yeah, I don't care. Go ahead.
All right, great, fantastic. I need to get some metal, and then that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Well, you got the boots.
I used them, but I spent all night working on that masterpiece.
No,
Mate, so-
her Zadriel's old boots. I don't know where Zadriel put them.
Oh.
Where'd you put your old boots? They're in your pack?
Probably in my back.
All right. That's So yeah, you raise a valid point there, Fibble. Zadriel, you mind if I steal those boots? You won't need them anymore, will you?
Fine, whatever.
Oh, great. Phil, watch this. And through the rest of as we're walking and talking, Addok's just going to be, as he's doing it and doing incantations over these old boots, he's going to be turning the old boots into liquid, and you're going to watch the metal form and reshape into like a tiny cannon and start to then have like 2 pincers for legs, so 2 on each side, and then little brackets that they hold onto on Zadriel's shoulder plate. And the armor, if that's possible, if you're allowed.
Roll a tinker check for me just to see how well it will attach to the armor.
What would you like me to roll for the tinker check?
It'd be dexterity plus your proficiency.
Okay.
And because you're riding on Zadriel, that would be an automatic +5, wouldn't it? Zadriel, because of your ability. It covers all saves and ability checks, yeah? So I'm clear. It's not just saves.
Great. Oh, well, I think it's only saves.
It's only saves and be no
yeah.
+5.
Yeah.
Just clarify that for me, if you could.
It's just saves.
The saves, so no +5, so just your dexterity plus your proficiency.
That's all right. Okay, dex plus proficiency means a 13, but I'm going to use a luck to reroll because I want this to work.
With the reroll, you have to use a new roll, so bear that in mind.
Oh, fuck, I got the same roll.
So 13.
Yep.
With a 13, I would say just the fact that your Zadriel's walking didn't quite come out exactly how you wanted it. It's there. You're not 100% sure whether it will stay there once it's fired, however. It definitely sits there for the time being. But any sudden movements or it firing, it may dislodge itself and come off. Not 100% sure. What sort of size is it, just so we get an idea of what Zadriel's dealing with weight-wise here?
I'm going to make a tiny one, not a huge,
That's a tiny construct, so it wouldn't weigh very much. Think the Predator's shoulder cannon, if you wish, guys. I'd say probably that size.
Yeah. But very shabby. It's definitely goblin-esque in terms of creation. It doesn't look...
Yeah. It looks like it's been taped together with duct tape, and like the solder is pretty rough, and yeah, it definitely looks goblin made, 100%. So with that, it's 9 o'clock, so we're going to take a short break about there, and we'll come back to the rest of this journey in just a moment. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate it very, very much. We've got some follows here. We've got to acknowledge and some hosts and raids. So Demon Gunned with a raid. Thank you very much. We had Young King follow, as well as Overcord and that random Sith Xavier with a follow. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with us. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Probably a good time to go for a loo break and grab yourself something to drink or eat. But we'll be back shortly.
Yeah, Cam's gone to do something as well.
What's up, chat? We're back. We're just gonna come and shoot the shit for a couple of minutes. Noddy's making a coffee, so she'll be pretty loud in the background. Cam's not back yet, but welcome back, Pesh. Yeah, I think the audio that I play through on the BRB was I've named it in music, but I think I got it from Tabletop Audio. I can't remember. It's either that or a royalty-free track that I found on either YouTube or on Spotify. But most other audio tracks are from either Sword Coast Soundscapes, which is on YouTube, or Tabletop Audio, or just royalty-free tracks that I've searched for and found online. Want to stay, but I'm tired, going to bed, even though I have no work tomorrow. No worries, JJ. Cheers for stopping by, brother. Appreciate it very much. In fact, guys, if you are interested in wrestling, which I know some of you are in the chat are, JJ runs an EFED Wrestling Federation on stream, which is very cool. A lot of role play from in Discord, and then he basically organizes the shows and puts them up and streams them. Pretty funny. Some real cool shit. Playing WWE 2K19. Obviously, it's buggy as hell, as all the wrestling games have always been, but still a lot of fun and fun to watch. So go check out JJ, chuck him a follow, catch up with him when you can. He is starting a new job and getting a PC together, so I think he said he's not streaming this week, but he will be back next week and doing some more streams. No worries, JJ. You take care, bud. Don't forget, yes, and apparently my characters, me and Sadiq, our characters are the tag team champions right now. Right. Also, too, Friday night, come back, not here, but over to Yanti's channel, and we were doing some Ice Spire Peak. Carrying on with that little gem. All sorts of crossovers going on between these campaigns at the moment. This is actually quite cool. You'll some baby champion, Yanti. Yes, you will. One day.
I don't think there's been a Parabol crossover to Ice Spire, has there?
From Paradigm, no.
No.
I don't think you really can.
Show up on Paradigm, didn't he? Yeah.
Yes, Karnos did show up in Paradigm. Karnos has been in every campaign that we've ever run so far, including our home game. I know, has he been in our home game yet?
Yep.
Yes, there's been a mention of him in our home game. Yeah.
He got saved.
Yes, he was a chicken in our Ice Spire Peak campaign. But our home game that Baz runs, he showed up in as well.
Oh, really?
And in Sanctum, he got executed.
Yes, he got thrown through the Icarus hole.
I thought that was a great idea.
Oh, it was awesome. There is a distinct possibility that Karnos might make an appearance in the new Paradigm campaign. Never know. It's just for shits and giggles. So it would be funny. I mean, we'll have to come up with a funny way to bring him into that one.
Yeah, he'll be a one-armed, one-legged old man hobbling along.
Well, it depends on what happens within. I mean, it depends on where it's.
Robot leg.
Yeah, well, he may do. May get a robot leg and a robot arm. Be part Warforged. Anywho,
I am Carnal Cop.
we will carry on. So, your guys' journey continuing as you carry on down the old Slavich Road, making your way towards the township of Valaki.
Oh, right. Do the rest of us walking notice Zadriel's, what's the word, disdain, her sadness,
her lethargic behavior, less than caring? Those of you that think that you would be taking notice, roll an insight check. I would say Karnos definitely because he asked, Addok because you're right there, riding. Actually, no, you probably wouldn't. You're too busy worried about your cannon, I would imagine. So you probably wouldn't even notice. Fibble, I'm not sure about whether he would notice or not.
I already know she's pissed off at me.
Yeah, so I'd say Fibble wouldn't roll the insights check because he probably just put it down to Zadriel being annoyed at him. Emilia, up to you whether you think you would notice or not, and Skathis, I'll get you 3 to roll. Karnos, Skathis, and Emilia roll to see whether they notice. Ismark's not going to roll because he doesn't really know you guys that well at this point.
15
He,
for
he's
Carlos.
probably still thinking we're dysfunctional.
Oh, yeah, probably. The 15 for Karnos?
19.
19 for Emilia?
13.
So Karnos and Emilia, you would probably both notice that there is definitely something not quite right with Adriel. Skathis, not so much. I set the DC at 15. So.
Emilia, do you think Zadriel's not in her right self today?
Not his usual smiley self.
Yeah, but do you think I should go and see what's going on?
Yeah, well, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, you're happy, and Addok seems rather happy today. It's a good thing to see. And the person who usually is the rock amongst you is not looking so happy.
Maybe we should try to cheer her up.
You know, well, maybe we'll come along with me and we'll go and see what we can see, eh?
Okay.
So I roll over there, sort of with Emilia following us. Excuse me, Zadriel.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all right?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't help but notice you don't seem to be so Zadriel-y.
Zadriel.
You know, like nothing used to. Well, you never really seem to be bothered by too much prior. I mean, you know, nothing really got you. You've sort of just shook things off. You seem to be a little down today. Is there anything I can do?
I mean, I punched you in the face yesterday.
Yeah, but it was, you know, I was trying to help you, and I understand.
You understand why I'd punch you?
Well, you were under some sort of, you know, weird spell. You didn't want to be unspelled, and I held you, and you didn't want to be held. It's kind of usually what happens when you do something that people don't want you to do. But look, I get it. I was trying to help. You didn't understand it. It makes sense.
I'm going to hand Karnos a letter. Addok, can you reach in my pack for like a letter? It looks kind of worn. Give it.
Yeah, right.
It's back
here you
there.
go.
Hopefully this is the letter, and it's a letter from my fiance, who had written me to come back home, and I had kept it. Basically, is what it says.
I give it a quick read through, and I roll it back up. And I give it back to. I'm not going to hand it to Emilia because I know Emilia's right there, but I'm not sure what sort of confidence Zadriel has with everyone. And I just sort of, are you feeling lonely at the moment?
A bit. I
Yeah.
don't feel like we are going to leave this place.
Can I, Emilia, do you have anything to add before I get into my? Because I have a tend to tangent off into tales, so.
Just trying to make sure you're feeling happy.
Oh, and Strahd came to me in a dream and told me that Emilia would kill us all. Other than that, I'm okay.
Emilia, do you know anything about this?
No. When he came to visit me, he was more interested in dancing than killing everyone. I'm sort of surprised, to be honest.
Has this dream offset you, Zadriel?
Yes, and I think he knows about this person in the letter.
He knows about Uzath.
Shut up, people. You're not in this conversation.
Well, you're not really hiding the conversation. You're talking amongst yourselves.
I am trying to talk low.
Carlos would hear her talking low and try to keep it low too, but yeah. Look, I said this something similar to Ismark earlier, but Strahd is a powerful man, and he is. I respect him. He has a lot on his plate. He's probably not going about things the right way, but he's definitely a bad guy. But in all reality, he is doing what he wants to do. He's following what he believes is right and just doing it. And I feel like, Zadriel, you've hit a place where maybe you're questioning what you think is right and wrong. Am I correct?
I am afraid he's going to take something I love and ask me to do something I don't want to do.
Right. He has this power to take things from us. I thought he has to bring it into his domain first, does he not?
Probably.
And do you think he knows about, and I just nod at the scroll, that person?
Did you read it?
Uzath.
He
It's
read
Uzath.
it. He read it to himself. Shut up, feeble.
What? You just.
I
What-
can kick a gnome.
Yeah, I know you can.
Fibble, you're not helping. I'm trying to cheer her up, and you really are.
Well, it comes down to we don't know what our loved ones are getting up to anyway. It may be that, yes, Strahd in his all-infinite power brings our loved ones here and kills them in front of us. But listen, there's nothing to say that something bad could happen to them in their own area one night, just pass away. We don't know.
Are
We
you trying
can't-
to cheer me up?
I'm trying to be a practical answer. Things happen. Life happens. Don't
Yeah,
let Strahd's stupid influence saying, "Oh, Emilia is going to kill us all." Yes, she may. At the same time, what's his face? The little dude, green dude that's on your back. His cannon might backfire and blow your head off. This shit can happen. It's called life.
He's got a point.
Fibble, Addok, you're not helping either, but Fibble, I think maybe you need to talk to Addok about the monetary system we have running at this current point in time. You do the right thing, you get a reward. You do the wrong thing, and I mean, Zadra, where's your hammer?
Look,
Just hand the hammer.
No, I mean, you can hit him. You hit me in the chin for holding you. I'm sure you could hit him for being mouthy little gnome.
He's kind of family. Can't do him.
You want me
Emilia,
to-
you want to cheer me up? Shape water and wrap it around his head.
So you walking and talking, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Ismark is listening to all of this, and stops walking, and just turns and says, "Look, Strahd will do what he will do. He will try to manipulate you. He will try and hurt you. There's nothing that you can do to stop this, short of killing him. But you are not powerful enough, any of you. But you are still bickering amongst yourselves. This will not help anyone. You are stronger together, not separately."
Zadru, did you talk to, what is your god's name again? The DM?
Yes, he did not answer me.
I guess this place is cloudy at the best. And I look up at the sky and it's cloudy at the best.
Cloudy at the best.
And I don't know if your DM is not speaking to you or maybe the message just is not getting through, but stick to what you believe, I think. Keep that at the forefront. As Fibble is not right, but he is somewhat right. He makes a point. We can't solve the problems of the things that we cannot. Well, if it's not right in front of us, right? You know, you can't win a chess game if the chessboard's over, you know, in the hotel 10 miles away. The inn, not the hotel, the inn. I guess worry about what we can worry about at the time. Fix what we can fix that's in front of us. And I'll tell you what, if anything is going to happen to one of our loved ones, I guess let me know. I'll help. I'll do anything I can do to help.
I do have
Look.
something to do in Valaki.
You do?
Yeah,
Excellent.
It also comes down to if he does fuck with our families, we kill him.
People, I
It's
don't want
sort
any
of-
more of your cheery. Yes, just shut up.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry, Fiddlestep. I tend to agree. Your cheering up is kind of gloomy at the best.
Yeah.
Maybe stick to building your little contraptions. Good at that.
I, for one, Fibble, are very appreciative of the fact that you tried. And then I gotta hold my hand out to Carnos.
Really?
Good try, Addok. Not quite the level we're at. Yeah. I understand what Fibble's trying to do, but it's just not quite the way some people. It would work for me. Fibble totally will work for me. But yeah, it's not getting through, mate. Sorry.
Also, on another note, I mean, if you really are worried about, you know, Strahd doing stuff to other people, I'm pretty sure if you guys got in, didn't you mention something about if Vistani took you in? Maybe we could go to them and talk to them about getting out. Anyone thought about that? That's, you know.
The Vistani do have a way in and out of Rofia, but they are loyal to Strahd. Do not believe they will allow you to just leave.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could do it forcefully. Ask them.
You could try.
Zadriel's very good with a hammer and, you know, getting people to do what they want.
This
So,
is something you could try, for sure.
Zadriel, cheer up. We'll just go to the Vistani. You can smash a couple of their heads in, make them explode, and then they'll let us leave.
Do I have brackets on my shoulders?
Well, I mean, yes. I think
You turn your head to your left and you've got a tiny cannon strapped to your pauldron.
Is this aimed for over my head, I hope?
Beside your head, but literally on your shoulder.
So, you know, tinnitus is a thing. Like, it's right.
No, I'm very aware. That is why I've chosen to use fire instead of force. So, if anything, you're just going to get third-degree burns.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm having a good day.
Carlos puts out his hand and just sort of clicks his fingers back and forth, like as to say, "Give me money."
Addok, you could just make it like a ear protection for that one side and just use the force cannon.
Oh, yeah. Right, see, this is why I needed your, you know, advice as I was doing this. I didn't really think it through.
You're advocating a cannon strapped to my back instead of being my friend, and advocating not having a cannon strapped to my back?
Shoulder.
Come here,
Uh,
people.
I
Come
think
here.
I
Come
think
here.
I think it looks really good on your shoulder,
I'm
and
about
it
to
makes
throw
you
a gnome. Come here.
and it makes you look really deadly.
This Mark just takes a couple of steps back, out of the way, waiting to see what's going to happen.
And Addok's going to flick Carnos 2 gold.
And Skaith
I
is
should
just
think
stepping
so.
back as well.
Emilia is going to mumble, I'm not sure that we need to worry about me killing everyone here.
Sounds like you need to get this out of your system. So please.
You know, we could have made something to make us walk faster or get there, or horse.
I'm working on it.
While this is happening, I'm surveying the area that we don't attract any unwanted attention.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah. I also remember that there were horses
Yep,
at the
that's
winery.
going to work.
What was it? Muted.
Nat 1, 5.
Yeah, you don't see fuck all.
Also, I think that, you know, you could have done this to Carnos. He is more balanced than me. You could have had a more balanced cannon, and
No, yeah, you see, that's where you're wrong. So with Carnos, if I were to do it on him, I'd then have to build 2 because of just how he is, and that way it'd be balanced. And I can't make 2; I can only make 1. I'm limited resources here. Like, I'm really trying to think outside the box. And you've got the most amount of protection. I mean, you're covered in metal.
oh, well, I'm so glad you thought of me. Thank you, Addok.
Look, it detaches. I'm sure it detaches. I think it detaches. I hope it does. I'm gonna try and pull on it.
What's up to you whether it detaches? I mean, that's how you intended it to be made. It definitely detaches and reattaches.
Yeah.
But yeah, whether it would stay there when it was fired is the question.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull on it, and I'm just gonna hold it. See, look! I'm gonna dangle it in front of your face. Look, it's fine. Not gonna get it. I'm gonna reattach it back on your shoulder.
What
Addok.
happens if I have to go to the bathroom or bend over? Huh?
Well, I mean, I'll be there, so I'll just take the cannon off you.
What happens if I have to take a shower or a bath?
Well, again, I'll be there, so I'll just
No,
take the cannon off.
Addok, you need
But
to listen, man.
by then you'd already have your armor off anyway, so it's kind of a moot point.
Addok, I don't know what they do in the Goblin Kingdoms, but when someone says no, you generally, you know, you might try once or twice, but after the third time, you generally give up and say, okay, sweet as. You can't just keep saying no means yes all the time. It doesn't, she doesn't want a cannon on her shoulder. You say, sorry, ma'am, you don't get a cannon on your shoulder. Come on, Addok, you must be hearing this.
Wait, no. You said that you don't want a cannon. I thought you said I could build a cannon on your shoulder.
I gave consent. It's fine. I'm just bitching about it.
Oh,
Okay.
now I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. Do you not want this cannon on your shoulder or not? Because I think it looks great. It matches your armor. It looks good. Is it, Fibble? It's very structurally safe and sound, as much as it can be.
I think I'm gonna remain silent because of fear of hammer.
And it's about this point that the rain starts to fall once again.
Carlos holds his shield above his head and tries to, like, stand between the two girls, Zadriel and Emilia, and hold it above their heads as best he can as well.
It's not a very big shield, so it probably doesn't do anything.
Yeah, probably really is just shielding him.
I'm just going to keep walking now.
Zadriel starts, just says nothing. Are you still allowing Addok in your pack at this point?
I don't think he got off the whole time, so
No.
he's still there.
Okay. So Zadriel starts to move forward, pushing past everyone. Still not happy. Ismark shakes his head sort of quietly to himself and follows. Do the rest of you continue your journey?
So how far from Valaki are we?
Still got probably better part of 8 hours walk. Well, you've only been walking for about 3 or 4 hours. You've still got a fair way to go.
Okay, so Emilia will say, so do you want a horse or something to ride on to get to town quicker? And anyone.
I think we would need more than one horse, though. We can't all of us fit on a horse.
Oh, I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
Emilia's going to use wild shape and wild shape into a giant elk.
Giant elk.
which is a huge creature.
It
Huge
is.
beast.
A very large beast with long horns. Probably stands at the shoulder 15 or 20 feet high, in fact. Very, very large creature. You would not be able to carry everyone, I don't think, though. Yeah. What's the strength on the elk?
19 plus 4.
So 19 modifier of plus 4. How
What's
much?
Probably
You
a short person on each horn and the rest on the body.
you got to try and carry four medium creatures plus 2 of the smaller folk. So you're looking at 5 medium creatures.
I can pretty much. I should be able to keep up with whatever speed.
What speed is the elk? Movement speed?
60 foot.
Yeah, you're not going to keep up, Scathers.
I keep up a little bit.
You'd be able. Your speed would be slightly quicker because at the moment, who's got the slowest movement speed in the group? People said, what's yours? 25 or 30? 25. Okay, so
25.
yeah. So at the moment, you're limited to the 25 foot. The speed of Pebblestead being the slowest person in your group.
Perhaps we could make some skis or something to, like a sled, like a toboggan.
Yeah, if you were to make something that you could put 1 or 2 people on and drag behind you, I would say yes. That too. So do you take the time to construct something of that nature?
Well, Emilia will swing her horns around and knock over a bunch of trees. You can make something out of that.
And no one would understand what Emily is saying. She would snuffle and
I
make a
can't
noise.
with animals.
And as you see her knock over a couple of smaller trees next to the road, Zadriel casts Speak with Animals, and Emilia says, are you able to make something out of these?
She says, were we able to make something out of that? And Fibble is a dick. Can we do that?
Agreed. Yeah, I think I could do something with this.
As Mark is standing there looking at Emilia, kind of wide-eyed and like surprise but fascination at this giant creature.
Emily will say, someone with a big axe, chop off each end of the tree and all the branches, and then we'll just put them together and lash them together like a raft.
Emily is a big elk, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she cannot say that, can she?
Is
Speak
that
with
Zadriel?
animals, okay.
Because Zadriel has Speak with Animals up at the moment.
Oh, right.
She said someone with a big ass lashed together the ties to make a raft.
Fibble, you've got the biggest ass. Or you are.
Fibble, you are the biggest ass, I
Yeah.
believe. You should do that.
I think that might have been axe.
Oh, right. Oh,
Because
yeah.
I don't think you use an axe to knock off trees and limbs.
Oh, righty.
Come here and I will show
Depends.
you how to use
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, I guess. But I agree. Maybe we should construct some form of sled or sleigh or some kind. Carlos, come give me a hand.
Alrighty. As
So-
can do.
What Ismark moves forward and starts limbing the tree with his sword. Just a small, like all the smaller limbs, not these. They were fairly small trees. It just takes all the smaller limbs.
Carlos puts his hand up as much as, hold on, mate. Right tool for the job. And he pulls 2 hand axes out of his, because he's got them all over his belt. And he goes, this is for limbing small trees. That sword is much too nice for this.
Thank you. And he puts the sword away and goes to work with the axes. So I need Carlos and Ismark and anyone who is going to aid in this endeavor to Carlos and Ismark make a dex check. Firstly.
Dex
Aid
or
with my
strength?
rope.
No, make it strength. 22 from Ismark.
11 from Carlos.
A bit of an offset there. Anyone else assisting in this particular task?
I
When
will get the rope
Yeah,
and
I'll
aid.
assist.
Latching
Uh,
it together.
You're going to grab the rope? Addok, what are you doing?
Going to be keeping a look out in case he sees shit.
Skathis, what are you doing?
I'll assist
How are you going to assist?
whatever they want me to do.
Probably not much you can do because you don't have blades or
I
anything
have-
to limb trees.
I have more axes.
Unless you're going to hand off
6
more
of them.
axes. Okay, cool. So you hand off axes to Skathis. He joins in, which will reduce the amount of time that it takes to complete this task.
Once they've delimbed a tree,
Yep.
Emilia will pick it up like a dog with a bone and place it into a formation in the middle of the path.
Okay, I'll get you to make a strength check with advantage. Because, I mean, you are a giant creature. Still, these are trees.
Jesus. 4?
Yeah, you're struggling with them. But with the aid of the rest of the group, formation is laid out, and you've basically laid out a more of not so much a raft type thing, but more of a like a Native American sort of skiff, one that they attach to a horse and drag along behind the horse, similar to that sort of thing. A lot of native cultures use similar. I'm not sure what it's called, but you get the idea. So with the rope, Zadriel, I need you to make a dexterity check as you start lashing these pieces of wood together to make this sled.
12.
Anyone assisting in this creative art?
I shall assist as well.
Okay, so roll as well.
Dex check of 14.
14. Pretty average. Takes a little while, but you manage to get it to a point where you think it'll work. You then strap over another series of ropes over the back of it so it can be laid over the back of Emilia elk. And it's large enough to probably take 3 out of the 4 larger humanoids. So Addok and Phils are probably more than capable of getting up on the back of Emilia by climbing onto this contraption and scaling up the back, and one other person. So it's up to you where you wish to go, whether you're going to be on the sled or on Emilia's back.
Carnos would take the sled if that's okay. Climbing up and sitting on the back seems a little awkward for my condition.
Ismark says, I will ride up front if that is all right. Fibble, I will give you a hand up as well if you wish.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's a mighty big tree there.
There's a bit of a climb, but I think we'll be okay. Shut up. So Addok, you're still in Zadriel's pack, although you probably would have had to either hand her the rope or get out while she got the rope, because that was in her pack.
I would have handed the rope, yeah.
If Zadriel is allowing you to remain in her pack, you both could be on the sled without too many hassles. Skathis and Karnos, everyone embarks this interesting mode of transportation. This will speed your journey up, cutting about 3 hours off your total journey, I would imagine. 3 to 4 hours. Emilia, if you're wanting to go into a running pace, you'd cut the journey down by 5 hours, but you will get a level of exhaustion at the end. It's up to you whether you wish to just keep at just your basic walking pace, which will cut time off. But if you run, it'll make it shorter. You'll gain a level of exhaustion.
I'll make it shorter. I mean, the 3 hours is less than half what it was before. So.
I mean, you've got about 8 hours to go from this point to get to Valaki, roughly 8 hours. This will knock it down to about 5, which means you'll get there before dark.
If I was to run, then everyone would have to roll strength checks to fucking see if they could stay on.
There would be some skill checks involved if you were to run full pace, yes.
And if we're going to make it there before dark, then 3 hours is a nice round number.
Before we actually leave, I'm going to cast grease to the bottom side of the sled to help it slide easier.
Okay. I'll say with that, we'll take off another half-hour travel. just a little less resistance. So this will reduce the encounter checks from 4 remaining in this 8 hours down to 2. So we will start heading out. Emilia, how long does your speak with animals last, Adriel?
4 hours. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, your
I think 4
your
hours.
shape will last for
You ain't
4
talking to
hours.
me.
Yeah, your wild shape will
minutes.
last for 4 hours. So it'll give you an hour of walking as normal once you, probably an hour and a half of walking once you reach the end of your wild shape, which will still put you in Valaki well before dark.
So you said 3 hours or 4 hours?
4 hours for you.
Yeah, 4 hours for me. Did you say it was 3 hours away from Valaki then?
No, you're 5 hours away.
Okay, in mind. It is.
So how long was that, Zadriel? Sorry?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So before the spell ends, you let Emilia know that Emilia lets you know that she's ready to go, and you start heading out.
And Emilia will also let you know that she understands Common. So she won't be able to speak to you, but she'll understand if you're saying something to her.
Cool. So you head off. A little awkward to begin with. It seems a little odd, but everything seems working okay. Those on the sled, I will need you to make a dexterity check for me. Just a dex check, but at advantage, because there are more of you on there, so that you can hold each other on and help out. So make it with advantage. And DC is relatively low, so don't stress too much. Carnos, Addok, you probably don't need to make it because you're in Zadriel's pack. I mean, if you got
19 for Carlos.
19,
16.
so anything over 10, you'll be fine. So DC's 10. So, and the initial sort of, as Emilia takes off, sort of throws you a little bit because not sure of the movement, and it's a bit weird, but once you get into the rhythm of things, and she moves pretty quickly. So a large beast, long stride, 60 feet per turn is very quick. I mean, it's double your guys' walking pace, so you've picked up the pace somewhat. You've probably cut your time down to about 4 hours, about half. You will get to Valaki pretty quickly. First hour or two goes past without too much incident. Fiddleston, I'll get you to roll a d20, please.
During that ride, who was in the sled, Dungeon Master?
Carnos, Zadriel, and Scathus.
Okay.
So your number, Fiddleston, please.
14.
14. As you move down the road at a relatively quick pace, Emilia's probably got the highest perception, especially now she's in elk form as well, highest passive. Emilia, you'd probably spy them first, but you're moving relatively fast paced, so it probably doesn't really matter, but you spy another series of large insects or large arachnids in the right side of the road as you're traveling down the road. But in the tree line, they've sort of heard you coming, they're sort of looking, they're moving in your general direction. But these are different than the ones you saw earlier, a little larger and a little fatter and furrier. But at the pace you're traveling, you whip by them without too much recourse. They seem to be moving relatively slowly, and something of your size, you get the impression they don't really see you as a meal, as when you were all smaller and moving much slower. So fortunately for you and your companions, the creatures don't seem overly interested in you, and you pass them by with no issue. You make the twisting turns in the road, and as you start nearing the bridge crossing over the Luna River, you know that you're now within an hour or two of Valakian city walls and relative safety. You can see the day is drawing in, the rain is falling steadily, the road is slick and muddy, but not too bad. Scathus, can I get you to roll a d20 for the last leg of your journey, please?
for a grand total of 1.
Well, lucky for you, with a 1, nothing at all happens. You have a straight shot directly to the western gate of Valaki. However, as you start approaching the gate, Emilia, I need you to roll a quick wisdom save for me. That will still be with your -2.
Will I get Zadriel's thing because she's close to it?
It's a save, so yes, you will.
Alright, 23.
23. You manage to realize that, oh shit, I'm at full tit and my wild shape is about to drop. I need to stop. So you slow yourself down, bring yourself to a stop, and with that, I mean, how you decide to try and communicate what's about to happen to your friends is up to you. But you're maybe 100 feet off the city of Valakian gates, and Emilia has come to a stop.
Emilia will sort of kneel down like a horse or elk or whatever.
Okay, so you're going down on your front, like kneeling down with your front legs?
And then basically into a sitting or position, and then she's going to sort of roll to the side so that the other 3 are pretty much on the ground, just as she's switching back.
So as you drop your front legs down and go into a more sitting position, Ismark looks and goes, I think that is our cue to disembark. And he steps off, taking Fibblesit with him, and steps to one side. As she sits, you guys start moving off the sled, off the back, and with that, Emilia's form shrinks back down to her humanoid form. The weight of the sled and the belting over the top of the sled, though, is sitting probably across your shoulders. It does knock you prone, because it is quite heavy. It doesn't hurt you, but it does knock you down, kinda, like you're almost lying underneath it. You sort of got to crawl out from underneath it, but you're fine. You're able to do so. But you are within 100 feet of the western gate of Valaki, the town of Valaki.
It's probably for the best anyway, because if they see a giant elk running at them, they're probably going to freak the hell out.
Oh, they're
Little
probably
bit.
freaking out already.
You don't know what they've seen or not seen at this point. So with that, you are now standing in the road outside of Valaki. What are you doing?
Emily is going to crawl out from under the rope and then use mold earth to mold all the dirt off her. It's probably on her because it's raining.
It is. You'd be lying face down in a bit of mud, yeah, definitely.
Shall we drag this makeshift sled over to the fence and just leave it there for next time we might need it? This is a good way to travel.
It was a very good idea. It made journey very quick instead of long and possibly dangerous.
Maybe put wheels on it next time.
Yeah, I was about to say that. We could steal some wheels or craft them.
Or maybe we just go to a stable in Valaki and hire or buy a cart. And maybe you change into a horse instead of elk.
It's bloody expensive here, though, is Mark? We'll have to see what the pricing's like.
I'm sure I can help with procuring a wagon or something.
Hey, no, that wagon completely burnt down, didn't it?
Yes, that wagon didn't burn down, it was obliterated.
Burnt down. You might
In a spectacular fashion, yes. So, you decide are you going to drag it towards Valaki, or are you going to leave it where it is?
I vote we drag it to the side as I am checking Emilia to make sure she's okay.
She looks good. She's not hurt in any way, shape, or form.
Sweet. Carlos starts dragging it.
It's going to take more than just a couple of you. It is large,
Yeah.
because she was a very large creature, so it's very big.
Um,
So, with all of you helping, no need for strength checks. I mean, with Zadriel, Karnos, Ismark, Gathis, and Emilia, it doesn't take too long to drag it off the side of the road. And you could probably retrieve most of the rope if you wanted to as well.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that.
I knew someone would. So you do. So it takes you about 25 minutes or so to do so, but you do so. With that, it is now a straight shot to Valaki. You walk up to the gates. The guards through the holes in the gate. Stop! Who goes there? State your business.
We are emissaries of the Baron. I'm Zadriel, and this
Open the
is
gate. Does this mark you fool?
And that too, yeah.
Hang on. And after a few moments, seems like about 3 or 4 minutes, you hear the locks being opened and the gates slowly swing open. And you are all allowed back into the city. And the gates are closed behind you. The guards sort of look at you, and one of them sort of, you see the look of recognition, and he sort of leans over and says something to his friend. It sort of gives you that, okay, kind of look, and they go about their business. You make your way back into Valaki proper, walking back towards the Blue Water Inn, I'm assuming. Was there anything else you wish to do first?
You guys go. I have to do something very quickly. I will meet you at the end.
You've got about 2 or 3 hours of sunlight left.
Zadriel, you don't want a company. We were talking about not leaving each other alone and stuff. Are you?
It'll be very quickly. Down the street.
I think in town you'd be quite safe. Just not outside city.
Yeah, we've gotten rid of all the ruffian type aspects to the town, haven't we?
Valaki has been very quiet in the last few days. You did miss a festival, however. It was interesting to see Baron acting different than usual. It was refreshing. It was a fun time. Good day.
What was the time of the day, DM?
Early afternoon.
Quiet.
Carlos says to the group, I got some of these scimitars and bits and pieces in my pack. We should probably look at selling them if we can.
Head to a blacksmith. We'll see to that. And Zadriel, you needed to do something, yes?
Yes. I give him the stuff from my pack too, that like a flail and all that stuff that I had.
Okay. So so we'll resolve that in a moment. So you all start heading into Valaki proper. So who's going to the blacksmith with Karnos?
Okay.
Yes, please. I want to go shopping.
Everyone except for Zadriel. Addok, you're still in Zadriel's pack, so Zadriel, are you going to boot him out, or are you going to take him with you?
Yeah,
Boot him out.
Yeah, I'd get off, assuming.
Ismark says, well, if we are to set out in the morning for Perez, I will take my leave this evening and go spend some time with Irina. I shall meet you at the Blue Water Inn at first light, yes?
Sweet. Cheers for your help, mate.
Very good. I will see you in the morning. Good day. And he heads off towards the church. Leaving you to your devices. So Zadriel, you leave your party and you head off. So we'll go with Zadriel first. The rest of you start heading towards the blacksmith. Zadriel, where are you wishing to go?
The Vakta house.
Vakta house. So you both, all of you stay together until you sort of reach the Blue Water Inn, and then you split off into your separate ways. The Vakta house is to the north, blacksmith is to the east. So Zadriel, you make your turn at the Blue Water Inn and start heading towards the Vakta house. And it doesn't take you too long. I mean, you know the way. And you reach the Vakta house. What do you do?
I am going to knock on the door, and whoever answers, I will ask for Carl.
As you knock on the door, a couple of minutes go by, no answer. You hear a bit of noise inside, and Al himself actually answers the door.
Oh shit, am I still wearing a cannon on my...
Yes, you are.
Crap.
He sort of... he opens the door and, yes?
Hello, Carl.
It's you.
Yes. Do you remember my friend Emilia? You took a liking to her.
I do remember you getting us arrested too.
Yes, I'm very sorry for that.
I do remember not being able to walk for some time also. It's not pleasant.
Maybe this is a bad time then, because I was going to ask. This is very forward, but Emilia's greatest wish was to spend one night of passion with you, and I would like to make it up to her by having a kind of a surprise. You come by late in the evening to the inn, and
This feels very familiar.
oh,
Seem
I
to remember this happening once before.
yeah, I promise.
It did not
this
end
time-
very well, if my memory serves.
Okay. I cast Zone of Truth, and I say I promise that I will not harm you in any way.
He's nervous. As you cast the spell, he steps back, visibly nervous and somewhat afraid of you. Sort of steps back suddenly and then realizes that what you've cast is not dangerous, because he knows that you've cast it on him.
This yes,
He sort of
this spell
goes,
makes me not tell a lie.
okay. So I did like Emilia. Is different than other girls here.
And it was not her fault. That was all my fault last time. She really did like you a lot.
It was very pretty. I did enjoy spending time. I am very afraid of both, though.
Well, you have my protection while you are there.
Forgive me if this does not really make me comfortable. You did try to. Well, you did punch me. Yes, you did. You punched me. It hurt a lot. It was surprising for a girl, but nonetheless.
Would it help if I threw in free booze for the whole night?
Normally, yes, that would definitely be a thing. But since the death of our mother and everything that has happened, Nikolai and myself do not drink anymore. We are trying to be responsible.
That is very boring.
The Baron has expressed that we should be a gentleman, not boorish oafs, I think is word.
Well, Nikolai can come and sit outside in the hall with me and just talk if you feel you need a bodyguard.
From inside the house, you hear, Carl, who is it? What is going on? Close the door, it's getting cold. And Carl sort of looks at you and sort of almost rolls his eyes, but not quite. Sort of turns and says, brother, it is that beautiful lady that punched me in the face.
Hello.
And Nikolai, sort of, you hear him, the footsteps coming to the door, and Nikolai, the slightly older of the two, walks in and says, Zadriel.
I'm trying to look nice with the cannon strapped on my back.
He sort of looks at you, kind of, with a relative smile on his face. He remembers the conversation you had in the jail, and kind of, you can see a semblance of forgiveness somewhat in his face. And then he sees the cannon, and a very puzzled look comes over his face, and he's sort of looking at. He can't seem to take his eyes off it. And he sort of says, "What brings you to our home? What is that?"
Goblins. Goblin pranks.
Right. And he sort of collects himself again and says, so, what brings you here?
I am trying to be a wing woman for my friend, and it is failing miserably. I'm trying to persuade your brother to, kind of spend the night with with Emilia. She has a terrible crush on him.
I can understand why Carl is a little hesitant. Of course, you got us arrested. It was not a very pleasant evening all around. But, as I said to you earlier, that maybe blessing in disguise, yes? Would you like to come in? Where it's warm. It is very raining and cold. We have fire going.
Sure. And I duck down into the doorway to let the cannon in.
And cannon's not that big. It's lower than your head
cool.
height, so you're good.
Awesome.
So he shows you into the dining/lounge area. You take a seat. He hands you a towel to sort of dry off because it's raining. And with that, you take a seat and he sits down beside you and he looks at you and says, I'm pleased you decided to stop by. I think this is good. I think I'll need to relax with this Emilia, is it? This girl. He was quite taken by her. Very sad that things happened the way they did.
Yes.
He's still a little bitter about it. I think I can persuade him.
Yeah, we are fighting Strahd, so we could die any day, and it is her one wish to, enjoy the arms of a man before Strahd takes us all.
Strahd. The Baron did inform us of our mother's alliance with Strahd, what she was doing here. She is our mother, so I still care for her, of course, but we were not happy to hear about what she was doing. If you was to leave it with me, I will speak to Carl. And Carl sort of left you guys to it and sat over the other side of the room by the table. He was having a meal, so eating his meal, looking up every now and again. So a couple of days, I may be able to persuade him.
But we are here for a night.
I cannot guarantee it will be tonight. Still a little hurt. You must understand.
She will wear that red dress.
I'll see what I can do. No promises, though.
I better go back now.
Right.
I will wait and see what happens.
You're staying at the Blue Water Inn, yes?
Yes.
If I am to convince him, he will be there around later this evening.
All right. Thank
but
you.
Again, I cannot promise anything.
All right.
And from the table as you get up and go to walk out, he sort of, Carl gives you a half pie wave and sort of, good evening, mouthful. Pretty sloppy eater too. Like he's no Casanova. Nikolai's definitely the more charismatic of the two. But Nikolai shows you to the door and shows you out, and you head out into the Valaki in late afternoon. We will switch over now to the rest of you as you head towards the blacksmith. The blacksmith is still open. I'm now trying to remember the blacksmith's name. Where is it? There it is. Here's my thing. Grigori, blacksmith. He is working at the forge. We will switch off the Slavage Woods. Don't have my Valaki sounds here, but that'll do for now. So he is working at the forge, hammering away what looks to be maybe a sword or some form of bladed weapon, hammering away at the forge. Doesn't see you as you approach.
Hello? Excuse me, kind sir.
Kang, ting, ting, kang, ting, ting. He sort of, hang on. Let's see. Yes, what can I help you with?
Well, and while he was waiting for him to come over, Carlos was pulling the robes that have the scimitars wrapped up in it. He lays it on the bench, and 8 scimitars all laid out in a row from the collection we made.
What can we get for these fine specimens of weapons? Partially used, mind.
Oh, let's see here. Not too bad. Not too bad. Little worn, but I think we'll be. I should be able to repair and sell. How many you say you have here?
Oh, there's 8 there. Yeah.
15 gold apiece. Best I can do.
15. And this fine battle axe, and I take out my original battle axe, the weighted one, and I sit that on the bench. I'd like to sell that as well.
Oh, this is a fine piece. It has holy symbol in the blade there.
Yeah.
That's fine work. Who did that?
I pointed to Fibbleston. Yeah, that's him right there. He did that work.
That's very good. Very nice. Well done. Let's say for this one, I'm not sure. With the holy symbol there, 25 gold pieces.
Very good. That's about it for me, Mr. Stubb. Anything for you?
No, just coming along for the hell of it.
Addok, are you there? You're there, aren't you?
Certainly am.
He's sort of looking around as he's handing stuff over, handing the gold over. Karnos hands the stuff over, and he looks at you briefly, then looks away, and then looks back at you. And you see his brow start to furrow. And he's looking at you quite intently. You. What
Hello.
are you doing back here? Get out of my forge. Don't ever come back.
All right. Let's go buy some things, but...
Lucky I do not call the city guard. You are a swindler and thief. Do not come back here again.
How dare you? That is rude. That is very rude for customers. You should be ashamed of yourself running a business like this.
Do
I
you
would
wish
never
for
do
me
that.
to call city guard? You are a swindler and thief and casting spell on people.
Right, have you got any proof of that?
We shall see what city guard has to say then, yes?
Well, we should see the city guard, considering we protected you all from, and... Wait, did we? Oh, we did something.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
While he's trying to talk, Carlos puts his hand over his mouth and says, "It's all right. What's the guy's name again? I forget."
Gregory.
It's all right, Gregory.
What did you get?
I'll take him out. I'll give you an extra. Yeah.
You got that one?
Jesus.
Take him away. Don't bring him back here again. If he comes back, I will kill him myself. He made a fool out of me and stole my money.
Did he? Addok, how much did you steal from this man?
I did no such thing. It was a fair trade, and you saw something in my eye.
You cast a
realised-
spell on me and stole my money. You're lucky I did not call God then.
You got no
How
proof
much-
of that. So you say.
How much did he steal, Gregor?
100 gold pieces.
Right, Addok, I'm going to pay the man, and you're going to get down on your knees and apologise.
I give him 100 gold pieces.
Hey, Karnos, that is very stupid of you and not very smart. He could be making this up. You don't know the full truth, and I'm not going to grovel to such a man as this. It's very rude of you.
Addok, I'll
Nope.
ask Zadriel to cast Zone of Truth and get you to tell me what you did.
All right. So what happened is I may or may not have done a little bit of, but to be fair, all right, Mr. Blacksmith, sir, your prices are overpriced. They are, and you get a lot more business if you just lowered it a little bit. Just what I think is fair.
I'm only blacksmith in town. My price is my price. Do not like it? Find someone else to do business with.
Yeah, it's fair, Addok.
Good luck.
He's plying a trade, mate. We look, I've just sold some swords. We've made some money. Now I've paid him back. It is what it is. All right, Addok, just apologise to the man. Gregor, he is one of our compadres, and we will need to buy something for him from time to time. If
I will not deal with him anymore.
Okay, you
Get him out of my sight.
Okay, Addok, you might just want to stand outside the shop, mate.
Yeah, great. I'll do that.
Do-
If
do
I
you-
apologise, do I get 2 gold?
Yes, but do you need anything?
No. Hang on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna walk back in. Look, I'm
Get
terribly
out of my
sorry.
shop.
No. Look, I'm just to say I'm terribly sorry, sir, for what I've done. I did wrong you. It's not okay. I won't do it again. I am profusely sorry. I hope this make amends. And hey, if you want, I'm very good at tinkering with stuff, so I can help you out from time to time to make amends.
I'm just going to roll a quick insight here, see whether he believes you or not. You rolled a 16, so are you being 100% genuine? Up to you whether you're being genuine or still trying to be deceptive.
I'd go with half.
Yeah, I'm half and half. I'm not entirely sorry, but I would help out if you wanted help.
Okay, well, the 16, he's still going to be a little standoffish with you. He sort of says, maybe let me think about it. But now, please leave.
Yep, no worries. All right.
And I think that's about all we were selling at the blacksmith. So Carlos would sort of give a bow and say, "Sorry for the trouble, Gregory, but do appreciate
Gregory,
the
not
calling
Gregory.
from-
Gregory.
Yeah, no hassle. Mr. Stibb, was there any metal objects or anything you needed to buy?
I just need the crystal now.
Okay. Let's head off then. And as we head out the door, I'd say to Fibble, I've got a question for you. Is it all right? I don't mind if anyone hears it from the group who's there. Oh, was Emilia and Skathis with us?
Yep.
Emily is
Did you
with
guys
us
need
to
anything? You
remain
want to sell
inside.
anything?
Yeah, Emilia remained outside.
Okay.
Remain
Skathis?
Emily will remain inside.
I remain inside, so you're staying there, okay.
All right.
I stayed outside.
Sweet. But you can resolve what Emilia wants to do first, because I want to chat with
You stay inside, Emilia. Grigori sort of looks at you and says, yes, can I help you?
You wouldn't happen to have any clay, would you?
I do not generally deal in clay, but hang on, give me 1 second. I do make malt for pouring cast. What do you need it for?
I just want like a pocket full that I can just sort of mush with my hands.
It gives you a bit of an interesting look. It says, go down, if you go down back of Forge there, there's a small pile of clay. You only need that much, help yourself.
Do you want any payment for it?
No, it's fine. It is dirt. Dirt is easy to find.
She smiles and thanks him and goes around the back and grabs basically a handful.
Okay.
And she'll have some sort of pouch to put it in somewhere.
No worries. So with that, you start to head back towards the Blue Water Inn. I would say with the amount of time you spent at the blacksmith and the amount of time Zadriel spent at the Vaktas, you would probably both get back to the inn roughly around the same time. Maybe Zadriel probably get there maybe 10 minutes before you guys.
Is there a general store nearby the...
Not near the blacksmith, that's more in the centre of town. Probably by the time you get there, it'd probably be closed. Might have to wait till next.
Sweet as. Well, in that case, Emily will head to the church.
You're going to head back to the church? No worries. You're going to let the group know that's where you're going?
Yep, I'm going to say I'm going to go see Irina, and then I'll meet you back at the thing.
So with that, the rest of you reconvene at the inn, probably right around sunset. As the day is starting to draw in, Emilia walks with you to that point and then carries on heading towards the church. So the rest of you enter the inn. Zadriel would probably already be there, whether you went upstairs or to the bar is up to you, Zadriel.
I would have went to see the bartender and
Erwin?
tell him. Yeah.
So if you wish to resolve that before we finish up tonight.
Erwin, we went and
yes. Welcome, boom.
met your brother and took care of the winery for you.
So the wine is running again. Right,
Yes.
good. Hopefully we get shipment soon.
I did not know you had problems with your brother.
Not my brother. Father, yes.
Oh,
He's a stubborn man, but no problem really. He believes that me leaving winery and coming here is running away from my responsibility, blah, blah, blah. It's not a big deal.
Well, he seems to think a little better of it now that he's had time to think, so.
As long as winery is fine, it is all good. Thank you very much. Your wine is going down a treat. The stuff that you made for me is good. Not as good as winery, but people seem to like it.
Oh, good. If Carl comes by, Carl Vagda, just let me know, okay? I will sit over there.
Hopefully they're coming by to have a drink. I have not been for some time. I'm a little worried. Business is slow without them.
I will. I'll buy a round for when my friends come in. I will sit over there.
Of course.
And I go sit down.
I will bring it over. Do you want food as well?
Yeah, sure.
Right,
And I hand
I
him
will-
the money.
Mark off 5 gold. That'll cover the wine and the food for the evening. So he toddles off back to the kitchen, and after about 10 minutes or so comes back with a platter of food and a few bottles of wine. And about this time, the rest of you rejoin Zadriel at the inn and take a seat with her. You see the food and wine is all laid out, ready for you for the evening meal. Is there anything you guys wish to discuss at the table?
Yeah. Before we get in there, DM, I would have just grabbed Fibble stood aside on
Yep.
as we were sort of get back to the inn.
I'll say, Fibble, can I chat with you a moment? Just away from the others. No offense, anyone. I just want to talk to Fib.
And if everyone's cool with that, he would sort of go around the back of the inn,
Yep.
offload his pack, and get out the cooking pot that he has in his pack, and he will start putting bits and pieces that Addok mentioned earlier into the pot and the spider legs. And as he's talking to Fibble, he's basically preparing a meal. And
Okay.
he says, Mr. Stubb, I have a question for you about your weapon.
Yeah.
You call it a name. What was that name again? I can't remember.
Charlotte.
Charlotte, yeah. How'd you come up with that?
It just appeared in my head, and that's what I called it.
So you gave your weapon a name, Charlotte. I like it. It's a good idea. Naming weapons. Naming monsters when you kill them. Naming weapons when you have them.
By the
Oh,
way,
it's a-
did we name the spiders?
Well, I mean, they were just big spiders. I figured they already had a name, right? Big spiders.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you think of something better.
No, giant spider sounds good. Although pretty much everything's giant to me.
So is there any ritual with you? Well, I think that's a good point. Everything is giant for you, isn't it? Anyway, is there any ritual with naming your weapon? Do you like have it engraved on the side, or you have to light candles around it and dance naked in the moonlight to give it its name? How does that work?
When your parents named you, did they engrave it in your side, or dance around you in blood and stuff? And no, we just name it.
Oh, okay. So I'm thinking to name this battle axe you found me. I'm thinking of giving it a name.
Ah,
What do you reckon?
well, if you think it works for you, yes, do it.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping of etching it in there. I was hoping you could maybe do that for me. Even though you sort of described it as a painful thing that a parent would do to a child, it feels like the right thing for this axe. But I was thinking, we hope to be the victors, and to the victor goes the spoils. And this battle axe, you identified it and you said it does some extra damage versus plant-like creatures. And I thought, we're in the world of vampires. Victor is a name that sounds kind of vampire-y, and victory is what we want. And I'm thinking Victor is the name of my battle axe.
Okay.
What do you think?
So Victor the Axe.
Yeah,
Axe.
Victa. Victor.
Victor. Sounds like a very handy and robust name. So yeah, that'll work. Because
Sweet. Can I get you to? And he's stirring the pot, and he sort of hands over with one hand. Can I get you to, I don't know, meld that into a Victor on the side or something?
do you want me to put it across the bottom of it
like down the handle or something, you know?
After we put the new cross on that you need to get.
Yeah, I was going to go to the church tomorrow and probably pick up a cross if I can. Maybe 2, one on each side to try and keep the balance.
Could actually burn it into the handle. Like, yeah, that might work.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It won't damage it, right?
Well,
I mean, not damage.
I can always repair it if it does. So
Excellent.
it's good.
What do you reckon of this spider leg stew? You want a taste of that? Is a bit more salt, maybe?
No, I think I might go with just some bread and wine tonight.
Oh, okay. And Carlos tries the spider leg stew himself.
Roll a con save.
I suppose I should roll my cooking first to see.
Actually, roll your cooking, not your con save. Just roll cooking.
22, dude.
Yeah, it tastes pretty good. The spider legs of that size almost like eating crab meat, like similar sort of texture, like a giant crab stick. It's more, it doesn't have a seafoody type thing. It's just probably more gamey than seafood, but pretty tasty.
It's quite good. Yeah, I'll call the others. Actually, Fibble, you going back in to get wine? Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go in, you let them know that I've got this spider. I don't know what you call it. Stew, chops, goulash, but it's ready for anyone who wants a bit.
Right. Okay.
Hey, thanks for the talk, man. And yeah, if you can just put that name in the axe, love it. It'd be great. I'll let you know when I get the crosses.
I'll do the name when you get the cross after that. So I'll do it all in one hit.
Good work. Good thinking, Mr. Stubb. That's why you're the brains. Hey, go easy on Zadriel, will you?
She needs to. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She just seems to be in a bit of a, place maybe where she could use, you know when you guys first walked into the inn when we first met and you guys were bantering at the door, I think she could use that version of you, a bit more laughy.
I can try.
Yeah. Do you want a couple of gold?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Oh, sweet.
I'll hit you up for gold when I need it.
Excellent. You do that. Don't forget, let the others know there's stew. And with that, Carlos carries on stirring.
So with that, yes, eventually you stay outside. The rest go inside and meet up with Zadriel, who has food and drink laid out on the table already. So Carlos is outside. Fibble, do you let them know that Carlos is outside with his spider stew?
Yeah, I go in and go. So Carlos cooked up the legs. If anyone wants to try it, it's just it tastes like crab.
Tastes like crab. Yeah, nope.
Wow. Maybe he did say crab, not crab. I don't know. Maybe.
So with that, we'll switch briefly over to Emilia before we finish up. Emilia, you make it to the church. Father Lucien is there. You inform him that you wish to speak to Irina. As you head up, you know where a room is. You head up. Ismark is just leaving her room as you come up her room to knock on the door. And he says, Emilia, are you coming to see Irina? If you don't mind, make it brief. Very tired.
Okay, I just wanted to catch up, see how she's doing.
She's doing good. Still, as I say, tired, but getting there. Maybe in a week or two she'll be strong enough to maybe come out and fight us. She's a very capable fighter. Probably better than me.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
She's very skillful.
Emily will just briefly visit. There's nothing I really wanted to talk to her about. It's just a case of catching up with mates.
Okay, so you just wanted to pop in and see how she was doing and general chit chat. Nothing too important.
No, it is basically another person that she knows going through the same thing she is.
Okay.
So
So just general chat, and she'll let you know that she's doing okay. Like she's getting stronger every day since being away from the castle, further away from the castle, and being at the church. Seems to be doing her well. So
Emilia won't say how she's feeling. She's just sort of gonna try and keep geez, I lost the name already. Irina's spirits up.
Like I say, a general conversation. She seems well. She's tired, but okay. So after a short time, you leave and head back to the Blue Water Inn. Get back to the inn. You'll probably pass Karnos sitting outside with his spider stew. If you guys wanted to say anything before entering back inside.
Yeah, no, she's seen the meals that he's prepared. So she's gonna re-enter.
So do you know that you don't even stop to say hello? You probably get a whiff of whatever he's cooking out there, and it actually smells pretty good.
Yes, in general, she'll know that if she tries it, she'll get sick.
Well, she knows that at this stage she knows she can't eat it. But
exactly.
Do you ignore him or stop and at the very least acknowledge him or say anything as you walk past, or just go on to the inn?
She'll wave as she's entering, whether or not he sees or not.
So with that, Karnos, you're left outside by yourself with your spider stew. As everyone else is inside, having an evening meal and some drinks. I think we will call our session there and pick it up there next week with being in before you head off to bed. If there's anything you guys wish to achieve before bed, do that at the start of the next show. So, chat, thank you very much for hanging out with us again for another Wednesday with our traveling special. The group traveling back to Valaki. Going to go around the players and get some moments from this evening's session that stood out for them. Chat, as usual, if you have a moment that stands out for you, and don't hesitate to put it in the chat. We'll definitely read it out. So we'll start with Emilia tonight.
There's a couple of things that I did, just to start with. One was the giant elk, because let's face it, I got a hell of a lot more animals on that last level, so I was pretty fucking stoked at that.
Yeah, I was going to definitely mention that. That was a well thought out plan. When you said giant elk, I'm thinking, okay.
And the car wash, reverse car wash. I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, well, we all know your use of the cantrip's always going to be relatively.
As for everyone else, there's the cannon build from Addok. The RP and the cheering up of Zadriel was pretty funny.
Yeah, if you can call that cheering up, yeah.
Addok saying that he'll join Zadriel in the toilet and the shower.
Yes, that was kind of inappropriate, but yeah, funny. Jesus.
The whole the group discussion that was one-sided, maybe. The grumpy Zadriel, Fibble not knowing to shut up, Addok, just mind-blowing cannons. Oh, we'll put one here. As someone said Grim said, start putting cannons on every piece of her armor. I think that's going to happen.
I think Grim also mentioned Zadratron, the human, the SMR transformer.
No, in general, just loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, Magic says Victor the Battle Axe Lawnmower. that was all I was thinking when you said Victor. I was thinking, fuck that. That's the brand of my lawnmower, which kind of fits very well. Zadriel, moment or three from you, please.
I know that everybody's gonna say the elk and stuff, so I'm gonna say I liked the battle and Baz's tactical things he used to kind of lure them away, and also I like the shape water to kind of create a umbrella. That was pretty cool. So that's pretty much it, because I know everybody else is going to say all the other stuff. So
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we all generally pick the same things. Generally, Addok the Grey.
Yeah, I got I really liked Fibble trying to cheer Zadriel up with facts about just saying how technically it's a probably high probability that everyone that you love is going to die outside anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I was like, factually, it's got a point, but it's just not the. I thought it was hilarious, and also there was another quote by Karnos where he said he's not the sharpest tool in the noodle pot shop or something. It just didn't really make sense.
Not the sharpest spark in the noodle, or the brightest
Yeah.
spark in the noodle. I think it was. Yes, that was a moment stuck in my brain too. It was like, wait, what?
I just made it up. I have no idea what I said.
Anything else, Addok?
No, that's it. Oh, yeah. Oh, I also Zadriel's I think I liked her trying to still bring joy and happiness to, in the world, even though she's conflicted. So that was a good little thing towards the end when she walked off.
Magic says, little green guy on the back by Fibble. Grim, Yanti's facial expressions are always a highlight, and tonight was no exception. Yes, whenever something's said in chat, the way that you react, Yanti, is amazing. It's so funny. Fibble Sib, moment or three from you.
Drax's uses of spells are always interesting to see what he's going to do next.
You should see the questions I get in Discord every week about spells.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he does the same thing to Yanti as well. So we should sit there and go, oh, Drax, what the hell? Now I have to work out whether or not he can do that.
I'm the same. It's like, you can't do that. Or maybe we could.
Yeah. Karnos's naming of his axe. It's like, Victor, yeah. It's like I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, Victor, that works. It's a good mower of some kind. And myself, being a pessimist about, everyone's going to die eventually, whether Strahd does it or not, they're all going to die eventually.
Yeah, trying to cheer someone up in the Fibblestib fashion. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, well.
It was great. I loved it. Karnos.
Yeah, Fibble's cheer ups that had me good. The other thing Fibble said was, so that's why you kill spiders when they're young, so they don't get that big. That was pretty good. But my top moments. One, digging for information from Scathus is like trying to dig blood from a stone. I thought he does really well to not give you anything more than a 1 or 2 word answer. And Emilia, the elk, obviously, and asking for mushy clay, that was funny. But when she said, I think it was when Zadriel was looking a bit down, and she said about the dream of Emilia killing everyone, and then Fibblestib started going off, and Emilia says, "I'm not sure you have to worry about me killing everyone." And she looks at Zadriel. So that was those are my sort of 2 main moments there.
Yes, I have to agree with that as well. But no, again, for me, it's just the whole session was great. Great role play. The use of the elk definitely was a really good idea to expedite your travel. Cut your travel time in half. Rainy trail. I mean, like I said, you had potential for 4 more battle encounters. Obviously, the traveling speed of the elk negated one of those encounters with the roll, but also the one it was no encounters. That worked out pretty well for you guys. So got you back to Valaki in relative safety for the time being to spend an evening without worrying about any kind of encounter outside of the town walls. Yeah, I have to agree with Grim. Yanti, your facial expressions whenever things are said is just gold. I think that's what makes half of these sessions so funny, just watching people's facial expressions. Not just you, Addok and Bibble as well, but Zadriel specifically. Very animated in your expressions with that sort of thing, which is really cool. Next session, who knows what you're going to do? I mean, you guys obviously got a night to get through, get a long rest, and then deciding where you're going to go, whether you're going to carry on to Berez and do that first, or head out to the lake, get to Berez. Got a couple options. So with that, anything else from the chat? I think that's pretty much it for us tonight. As I said, make sure you are back with Yanti on Friday for the Ice Spire Peak continuance. Tomorrow evening, I will see, but there's a possibility. Keep an eye out. I may jump back on stream and carry on with the map making stuff for the new homebrew campaign, which will be coming up after Vampire Masquerade. So again, just to reiterate, no stream on Sunday from myself or Yanti at this stage, because we'll be doing some Vampire Masquerade stuff in Skype. So whether either one of us stream after that, who knows, keep an eye on the Discords. You'll definitely see whether we are or not. Short of that, we will see you again next Monday for some Diablo 3 on this channel, on my channel, and again next Wednesday for more Curse of Strahd. We should probably raid. Shout out to Tales of Pesh, who dropped by tonight too as well, guys. Make sure you go check him out. Really cool D&D. Uses Foundry a lot, which is something I will be buying next in a couple of weeks as well. So doing some online stuff for Foundry at some point. Lost Archives. Castle in the Sky. 7 viewers, been running for an hour. Well, we will raid those guys. Copy pasta. Create dash. And it decides to load. You're gonna poker face next week? I doubt that very much, Yanti. That just won't happen. Before we finish up, has anyone in the cast got anything to say? Is there anything you've got coming up, Yanti, on your stream that you want to let people know of?
It's Ice Spire Peak.
It's the Ice Spire Peak.
Fridays.
No problem. Anybody else? Nope. Nope. Cool. So, guys, we will see you again either tomorrow or Friday over on Yanti channel, and again next week. Till then, usual story, stay safe, have fun, play lots of video games, watch lots of horror movies, do the things and the stuff, listen to lots of heavy metal, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.